Douluo, summons from the two-dimensional world. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 201, Clues about the Clearwater Lake. As soon as the sky brightened, Yihan and others got up early. The main reason was that they agreed yesterday to go to the Bishu Lake together to check out the situation. It was a special experience for a group of people to walk on the quiet streets. Soon, the group of people came to the Bishu Lake along the water diversion channel of the Bishu Lake. Not to mention that this place is really beautiful, the environment is also refreshing, and it is a rare good place in Douluo Continent. Hey! Are you here to get water again? Just when Yihan was enjoying the atmosphere, a nasty voice suddenly sounded. Uncle Zhang, I'm here to see the Bishu Lake this time. Yihan looked at Zhang Xiu helplessly. However, this time Zhang Xiu was not as unscrupulous as the last time they met. Now he is more like a person who protects the Bishu Lake. It's good to take a look. For many years, no one has looked at the lake as quietly as you. Zhang Xiu was a little emotional, but also a little sad. Their Zhang family and the other Chen family and Zhang family have been guarding the Bishu Lake for generations. It's not that they don't allow people to take water, but to prevent people from destroying the water source. But I don't know when the Bishu Lake became a tourist attraction, with more people coming and going to play, and even the Chen family and the Zhang family have forgotten their identity as guardians. Finally, there's only Zhang Xiu left. The reason why he has not married at his age is very simple. No one is willing to accept that their children will guard the Bishu Lake in the future. Some people scold him for being pedantic, saying that guarding the Bishu Lake is no longer the same as before. Some people say he's stupid, saying that no one is watching him and asking him to guard it. But only Zhang Xiu himself knows that there are some things that cannot be forgotten. Since he was a child, his father and grandfather told him the legend of Bishu Lake and the origin of the Zhang family and Bishu Lake. Uncle Zhang, I remember you said that you are the guardian of Bishu Lake. How many years have you been doing this job? Yihan asked with a smile. Zhang Xiu was stunned. How many years? To be honest, he really didn't count it. He shook his head. Maybe from the moment I was sensible, I have been the guardian of Bishu Lake. Well, it's really been a long time. Yihan said with some surprise for a while. Zhang Xiu shook his head and looked at Yihan seriously. I know you guys came here for your own reasons, but I just hope you don't do anything to the Clearwater Lake. Yihan pondered for a while. After all, if the water god hid something in the Clearwater Lake, the thing would have to be taken away through the Clearwater Lake, so Yihan was ready to tell the truth. I wonder if Mr. Zhang has heard of the legend of the water god. Yihan asked tentatively. Zhang Xiu was stunned and looked at Yihan in surprise. You collected the comic books from the Clearwater Lake overnight last night. What comic books? This time it was Yihan's turn to be confused. Zhang Xiu smiled and said happily about this matter. Legend has it that 1,000 years ago, the Bishu Lake was still a pool of stagnant water, smelling terrible. Not to mention people, even animals were unwilling to approach it. At that time, the war caused refugees to be displaced, and our Zhang family had no choice but to come here. When they saw this pool of smelly lake water, the whole family was even more desperate and decided to commit suicide here. But at this moment, the gift from the water god fell from the sky, the lake water was purified, and gave hope to the people nearby at that time, the hope of survival. For a while, everyone was very grateful to the water god. Since then, the three families who first felt the miracle, the Zhang family, the Chen family and the Zhang family, swore to protect the lake for generations, but now, Yihan didn't expect that this Bishu Lake had a legend about God. Do you believe it? Just when Yihan didn't know how to start, Yi asked calmly. Zhang Xiu was stunned, a little tangled and complicated. I don't know. In recent years, the Spirit Hall has come, the Xiangdao Empire has come, and the Xingluo Empire has come, all looking for the so-called water god, but nothing has been found. It is precisely because the three major forces did not find anything at the time that people began to disbelieve in the water god, thinking that the things at the time were just myths and legends. I can tell you very seriously that the water god is still there. Yihan looked at Zhang Xiu, whose eyes were a little distracted, and said very seriously. Zhang Xiu was stunned, looked at Yihan with some excitement, and then quickly calmed down, and smiled a little self-deprecatingly. Thank you for your comfort. Yuhan shook his head. It's not comfort, but it really exists. I will find traces of her existence. Zhang Xiu just smiled at this, and Yuhan did not explain more, but asked Zhang Xiu if he could go into the water. Zhang Xiu nodded, indicating that he could. In fact, the Bishu Lake has never prohibited any activities, as long as you don't throw garbage or some dirty things into the water. Yuhan supported his soul power, tied a rope around his body, and slowly walked out of the lake. Soon he came to the center. It was already very deep here. Yuhan dived down and carefully observed the surroundings. Unfortunately, just like in the temple of the god of fire, there was nothing. There were no so-called stone pillars here, and the bottom of the lake was full of gravel. Not to mention Yuhan coming down now, as long as he was a soul master, such clear lake water can be seen from above. Basically, the entire lake is really in full view. Yuhan carefully explored every place but found nothing. In desperation, Yuhan gave a secret signal. Zhao Lei pulled Yuhan up. How is it? Yuhan shook his head with some disappointment. Ha ha ha. Don't be disappointed. Zhang Xiu walked around the lake and saw Yuhan coming up. He came over to comfort him. At the beginning, the spirit Huo also walked around and found nothing. You said that the lake is so big that you can see the end at a glance. What's there to find? Uncle Zhang, what are you talking about? Yuhan's pupils shrank. You said that you can see the end at a glance. Yet, can't you see it? Zhang Xiu was stunned. Yuhan was a little suspicious. Others also looked at Yuhan. No, the distance is wrong. I want to test it. Old man Bing, use the extreme ice to freeze a road, a straight line. Yuhan said excitedly. Bing Haoyu did not hesitate. He released his soul power. In just a moment, a straight line spread to the other side of the lake. Yuhan went into the water again. The heavens chain extended from the king's treasure and tied the ice road. As Yuhan moved forward, the heavens chain stretched unknowingly. This proves that the size of the bottom of the lake is much larger than it looks on the surface of the lake. It would be a lie to say that he was not excited about such exciting news. If he could prove this, it would prove that there must be places at the bottom of the lake that he had not explored. After going ashore again, Yuhan found Zhang Xiu. Uncle Zhang, I have a way that may really help me find the water god. Do you want to try it? What method? Although he didn't understand what Yuhan had just seen, he knew what Yuhan had discovered. I will ask Old Man Bing to go down and freeze the entire bottom of the lake. Do you think it's okay? Don't worry, because it's the soul power, it can be removed, and Old Man Bing's ice is the ultimate ice, without any pollution. Seeing Zhang Xiu's tangled face, Yuhan knew what Zhang Xiu was thinking, and quickly spoke to block all of Zhang Xiu's concerns. In that case, then you try it. Yuhan looked at Bing Haoyu on the side, who came directly to the middle of the lake. A large amount of soul power burst out, and in an instant, the lake's surface was completely frozen, but everyone's attention was on the bottom of the lake. A large amount of soul power poured out, but the bottom of the lake was like a bottomless pit. I just don't believe it. I am a 99th level extreme Douluo. Can't I do anything about a lake? Bing Haoyu became more and more angry as he thought about it, and 9 soul rings on his body shone out. For a moment, in the originally quiet Bishu city, a blue light shot down from the sky. To ordinary people, this was a spectacle, but to soul masters, it was a sign of strength, and they all rushed over. Chapter 202 The Water God is Real. As time went by, more and more people gathered around, but the area around Yuhan was still a forbidden area. After all, since the arrival of the Spirit Master, Zhao Lei's 9 spirit rings have been opened. No one dared to go over and provoke a titled Douluo, and he was also a Jade Flute Douluo from Enel City. Yuhan, what are you going to do? Daimyo Bei walked over carefully and glanced at Zhao Lei, who did not move. This time, Yuhan pondered for a while, glanced at Zhang Xiu, and smiled. You will know later that this matter is enough to shock the world. Daimyo Bei's pupils shrank. He didn't think Yuhan was joking at all. He felt a little anxious in his heart. Yuhan spoke again softly. You'd better not participate in this matter, otherwise it may be dangerous. Of course, if you don't believe it, forget it. This was certainly not Yuhan's fictitious statement, but a special intuition, a guess about the energy in the lake. Crack. Just when Daimyo Bei wanted to ask more questions, a sound of ice breaking sounded. Bing Haoyu broke the ice on the lake and slowly came out, and Yuhan walked up quickly. How is it? Yihan, I want a raise. Since it took 80% of my soul power to completely freeze this Bishu lake, can you believe that I am a level 99 extreme Douluo? Yihan naturally knew Bing Haoyu's little calculation, but he was not stingy and directly gave Bing Haoyu a card. Feel it. Is there any place that is not frozen? It should be about the same size as the previous mark. Bing Haoyu put his hand on the ice. East. He said and quickly went to the east. He wanted to reach out, but was grabbed by Yihan. Are you crazy? Have you forgotten what happened to the Vulcan mark? Bing Haoyu was scared after hearing this, and smiled a little embarrassedly. Meng Lang, you have so many tricks. Yihan's golden armor reappeared, and he carefully reached down and touched something like a switch, and subconsciously pressed it. A blue light column burst out from the center of Bishu Lake, and for a moment everyone's attention was also attracted by the blue light column. Faced with such a situation, Yihan would not stop it. To be honest, he really had a way to prevent these people from finding the water god. The simplest way was to pull the entire place into the inherent barrier. The reason why he did not do this was because of Zhuang Xiu, the family that had guarded the water god for 1,000 years. The icicle slowly disappeared, and a dignified woman stood in the light column and glanced at the lake. The next moment, Bing Haoyu's ultimate ice instantly disappeared. A crisp and indifferent voice slowly sounded, "This is just a phantom of this seat. The ability to activate this seat's phantom proves that you are here to take what I left behind. It is in the light column. If you take it, it is yours." In addition, the Zhuang family has been loyally guarding the Bishu Lake for generations. As the water god, I have to reward them. I saw a blue light enter Zhuang Xiu's body. The original old Zhuang Xiu suddenly became 20 years old, and his body became upright all of a sudden. It is not an exaggeration to say that he has rejuvenated. At the beginning, the three families swore to protect the Bishu Lake. As the water god, I did not ask you to do so. But since you volunteered and violated it, you will be punished. Just fulfill the oath your ancestors made. After the dignified woman finished speaking, the Chen family and Zhang family members who were watching were stunned. They saw the Chen family members falling to the ground and dying one after another, while the Zhang family members did not seem to have any reaction. The identity of the woman was about to be revealed. For a moment, everyone looked at the water god with passion. Zhuang Xiu's eyes were filled with tears. Only today did he know that his family did not lie to him. The persistence of several generations finally paid off today. The people around Bishu City were also somewhat unbelievable when they saw the water god, especially those who had mocked Zhuang Xiu, and they subconsciously hid behind. After all, they really didn't think that the water god really existed. Water, Lord Water God, what oath did our Zhang family make at the beginning? The head of the Zhang family originally thought that he would die like the Chen family, but now he had no reaction at all. It was this lack of reaction that was even more terrifying. In his heart, he was praying that his ancestors would not make any outrageous oaths. The water god glanced at the head of the Zhang family coldly. The Chen family will have all their members die. The Zhuang family will not have a good death, and the original oath of your Zhang family is that your descendants will be extinct, which means that from now on, no matter whether the Zhang family is male or female, there will be no offspring. Hearing such a vicious oath, the head of the Zhang family suddenly felt dizzy and fell to the ground. Isn't this to make the Zhang family extinct? Okay, I won't say any more nonsense. The things are here. If you have the ability, take them yourself. The water god said and disappeared. A jade box appeared on the light column. For a moment, everyone's goal was very hot, and a large number of soul masters could not help but rush in. Zhao was about to take action but was pulled back by Yihan. Wait, if they can really take it out, we can just snatch it away. There is no need to take risks. I don't know why I have always felt uneasy. Soul masters looked at the title Douluo and rushed in at a faster speed. A very comfortable feeling suddenly enveloped the people who entered. It feels so good. My soul power has increased. Yes. I feel that all the hidden injuries on my body have been repaired. The water god is so powerful. Hearing these praises, Daimyubei was a little eager to move, but when he saw Yihan standing still, he suddenly remembered Yihan's previous reminder and decided to wait a little longer. As a large number of soul masters got closer and closer to the jade box, the energy they felt became more abundant. Why are you bleeding from your nose? Huh? A soul master subconsciously touched his nose, and blood kept coming out. He panicked. The nearby soul masters began to bleed from their noses, and since their soul powers did not find any problems, they could not see anything wrong. Get out quickly. Bang! A soul master suddenly fell on the lake, bleeding from all 7 orifices, and died. The blood entered the clear water lake and disappeared, leaving only a corpse. Such a strange situation made everyone's heart alarm bells. Some rational soul masters had already retreated quickly, but even after leaving the Bishu lake, their nosebleeds still could not be stopped, and their soul power could not stop them. They used paper to block it, and even the paper was stained red. Until the first soul master who fainted due to excessive blood loss, one soul master after another fell to the ground. What's going on? Daimube was somewhat glad that he did not get too excited, otherwise he would probably be dead now. Yuhan walked to the side of a person who had lost too much blood and looked at him. He always felt that he had seen this situation somewhere before. Benjo Feng also came over to check. There are no scars, no poison, and even the body is too good. It has been repaired. Yuhan had a flash of inspiration. Yes, this is the same as the nosebleed caused by repairing too well in the previous life. But in the previous life, it was all medicinal materials, so even if it was repaired, it would not be fatal. But here the water god directly used divine power to repair these people. Who can control this? Are these gods so wild? Yuhan was a little speechless. The fire god made a silent erosion and spontaneous combustion, and the water god did the same thing again. What do you mean? What do you mean by too much nourishment? Zhu Huking asked curiously. Yuhan thought for a while. How should I put it? For example, your best physical condition is 100, and it drops to 80. After taking the panacea, it returns to 100, which is just right, but the water god keeps breaking 100, allowing your body to enter 150, 200 or even higher. If you nourish too well, some nutrients will flow out. The most intuitive thing is nosebleed, and because it is beneficial to the human body, your soul power and body will not notice it. Fuck. What is this? Then who can get the jade box? Daimube was a little depressed. Yuhan smiled. Of course it's me. Can you solve it? Daimube looked at Yuhan curiously. There is no need to go in, just use something to take it out, isn't it? Yuhan said casually. Daimube heard this and said with some contempt, look over there. Looking at the direction Daimube pointed, a woman whose martial spirit was a long whip used this method. Unfortunately, when she was about to touch it, the long whip shattered, and the whole person flew out and her life or death was unknown. Yuhan smiled and put on the golden armor. The heavens chain flew out. For a moment, everyone looked at Yuhan. The moment the heavens chain touched the jade box, a blue light rushed towards Yuhan, but most of the energy was blocked by the golden armor. Taking this opportunity, Yuhan pulled the jade box over and put it directly into the king's treasure. For a moment, everyone looked at Yuhan in disbelief, and some even looked a little hot. However, the 9 soul rings on Zhaolei and Bing Haoiu kept flashing, which instantly dispelled the thoughts of these people. After all, even if they got it, they had to live to use it. How did you do it? Daimube asked in astonishment. Yuhan smiled confidently, because I am Yuhan, that's all. The heavens chain is the nemesis of God, and the golden armor blocks the attack for him. These 2 points are indispensable, so this method is really only Yuhan can do it at present. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 203 Your soul bone is crying. Because Yuhan took the water god's jade box with a strong move, the chaos in Bishu City was also controlled. After all, Yuhan's identity and the 2 titled Douluo around him were not easy to mess with, and although Yuhan used tricks, he did get it. At this point, most soul masters didn't think much about it, but the matter of the water god spread for a while. In Douluo Continent, as long as it involves gods, it will inevitably attract the attention of many parties, and everyone will focus on Yuhan. Then Jinriksu's mentality exploded. That's right, it was Jinriksu. You said that the other forces were really uncomfortable. After all, they tried their best to make a key and open the ruins. Why? Isn't it for the gods' test? As a result, Yuhan, who gave up first, found it first, but fortunately they still had the hope of the ruins. As for why Jin Ringsu's mentality exploded, it was because in just one day, there were dozens of letters in front of her, from Bibi Dong of the Spirit Hall, Emperor Zhi of the Xiandao Empire, and the title Douluo of the Worship Hall. Yi Han was lying comfortably on Tang San's thighs, yawning comfortably. Leo was sharing delicious food with Hanzhou Qid. Tao Dao and Esdeath, two training enthusiasts, were exercising in the yard. Yoruichi was comprehending a Zen Pakudo. As for Zhao Lei and Bing Haoiu, no one knew where they had gone to fool around. Everything seemed so beautiful, but unfortunately, Jin Ringsu came in angrily. She didn't even have the mood to quarrel with Esdeath and others, and kicked the door open. This scared Yi Han. "Oh my god, what are you doing? You scared me." Yi Han stretched comfortably, turned his head lazily and looked at Jin Ringsu, whose face was about to turn black, and quickly got up. According to his experience, he should be well behaved at this time. After organizing his words, he laughed dryly. "Xiaoxu. What's wrong with this? Tell us and we can solve it together." Jin Ringsu frowned. "Why did you expose the water god? Logically, you should have a way to get the things without exposing the water god. Although Mr. Zhuang Xiu looks weird and has a rather annoying personality, I can see that he cares about the Bishu Lake and respects the water god. But even such a person is beginning to be confused." Yi Han did not continue, but the meaning was self-evident. Jin Ringsu also knew that Yi Han was kind-hearted, and somewhat helplessly took out a pile of letters and handed them to Yi Han. "Look for yourself." Yi Han was stunned and subconsciously took the letters. "Well, isn't it too much? There must be at least 20 letters here. Can you give it to me a few days earlier next time? This is a letter sent within one day," Jin Ringsu said unhappily. In this way, let alone Yi Han, the others gathered around curiously. Yi Han picked up the first letter with a slight twitch at the corner of his mouth. The signature on it was Bibi Dong. She skillfully opened the letter. "Find out what is inside the water god's jade box. If you can get it, send it to the nearest spirit hall. I have sent someone to pick you up." "That's a nice idea, Bibi Dong." Tang San smiled charmingly, mocking Bibi Dong's behavior. Yi Han thought so too. Even if he didn't know Jin Ringsu's identity, he wouldn't be stupid enough to give such an important thing to a stranger. What? Not a stranger? If Jin Ringsu hadn't favored him, how could Yi Han take her with him? Laughing to death. "You think a lot. Put it aside for now, let me take a look at this." Yi Han casually threw Bibi Dong's letter aside. "My son King, how are you these days? Your father misses you very much? Recently, I heard that there is a gift from the god of water in a city in the Xingluo Empire, which was obtained by Yi Han. Let's see if we can get it. After all, it is a gift from God. I hope King can recognize the difference between friendship and family affection. There are not many people who can be Jin Ringsu's father. One is the Chamber of Secrets Douluo Sunji, but unfortunately he has passed away. The other is Emperor Zhu Yi. Oh. This Emperor Zhu is still a bit literary. And compared with Bibi Dong's cold letter, this one is much more humane," Yi Han said jokingly. Jin Ringsu pulled the letter directly over in a bad mood. "Then I really thank him. Do you want me to give him the jade box directly so that he can feel the family affection?" "You have no family affection with him." Yi Han smiled without hesitation. He continued to flip through the letters. The rest were letters from the worship hall. They were all some old things who tried to get some news from Yi Han. Let's see if they have a chance. Only Jin Douluo showed much concern for Jin Ringsu, and he did not mention the meaning of the water god. "So you came here just to let me see these?" "To be honest, most of these people are just daydreaming," Yi Han said bluntly. Jin Ringsu rolled her eyes and took out a pen and a lot of paper from the soul guide. "Write." Yi Han looked at Jin Ringsu with a puzzled look. "What to write?" "Write a letter. This matter started because of you. These people are all key people. I can't not reply, but there are too many. I don't want to write, so you write it," Jin Ringsu said as a matter of course. Yi Han smiled awkwardly when he heard this, and then he had an idea. "That won't work. Forget about these old immortal worshippers. Bibi Dong and Emperor Zhu will definitely know your notes." No. Haha. "It doesn't matter, the soul bones in my body can change the handwriting, just write it," Jin Ringsu sneered. "Don't be like this, your soul bone will cry if it knows you used it to do this," Yi Han said with tears in his eyes. "Don't talk nonsense. Write quickly." Facing Jin Ringsu, Yi Han looked pitifully at Tang San and others. But unfortunately the latter looked like they were watching a good show and had no intention of helping. In desperation, Yihan picked up the pen, then lay on the ground, screaming in pain, looking very painful. Tang San and others who were familiar with Yihan knew what Yihan was doing and had no intention of stopping or caring about it. Jin Ringsu on the side was startled, and quickly ran over, asking nervously, "What's wrong with you?" "Ahem. Xiaoxu. I can't hide it from you. Actually, I'm sick." Looking at the weak Yihan, Jin Ringsu panicked and looked at Tang San on the side. "What's wrong? Aren't you an auxiliary spirit master? Come and see." Seeing that she was involved, Tang San came to Yihan with a playful look. "Allah, what's wrong with Xiaohan? I have a disease that will kill me if I write." Jin Ringsu was most afraid of the sudden silence in the air. She was stunned for a while and knew that she was fooled. Looking at Yihan lying in her arms, she threw him aside. "Write quickly, I want to check it when you're done, and give it to me tonight." Jin Ringsu left in the dark, leaving only Yihan with a desperate face. In the end, Yihan still wrote a letter, imitating Jin Ringsu and Zuking, changing different tones, from which Yihan could feel Jin Ringsu's difficulty. After all, she had to be a spy at such a young age, and she was tossed around in the Xiandao Empire and the Spirit Hall. "You said that if Bibi Dong treated her better, it would be fine." The only person who was good to Jin Ringsu was Jin Daoliu, but unfortunately he was already dead. "Oh. I killed him and it would be fine." However, from these small details, Yihan could see that Jin Ringsu was very tired and couldn't even find the motivation to live. This is very scary for a person. "Let me save this little girl." Yihan, who was moving himself, heard the voice outside. "Don't be lazy, write quickly. Save a ghost." Yihan looked at the letters that were sent in again, panicked, and kept complaining in his heart, why did he have such good interpersonal relationships even though he was a spy? The people who sent them this time included Ning Fengzi, Zhu Qing's teacher, Zhu Ke, Zhu Qing's sister. This was purely out of curiosity, and Zhu Qing's friends. According to Jin Ringsu's meaning, these people are all people who are being won over, and they can't let people's hearts down, so they must reply, haha. It's easy to say, if you have the ability, write it yourself. Of course, this can only be said in the heart. Chapter 204, Guardian Soul. After resting for a while in Bishu City, Yihan was officially ready to leave. The group said goodbye to Zhang Xiu and officially set off for the next destination. "What god are we going to find next?" Jin Ringsu asked skillfully. After this period of contact, Jin Ringsu understood that Yihan and his group had a clear goal and must have something like a map. "The Earth God." Yihan said bluntly. "The Earth God's territory is very interesting. It does not belong to the Xiandao Empire or the Xingluo Empire, but is in a canyon in the deep mountains. It is also a wonder of the generation in the local area. Of course, compared to the well-known Bishu Lake, basically only the nearby villagers know something about this place. The carriage can't pass this place. We probably have to walk." Esdeath looked at the nearby environment and said. The group didn't care. They took their good things and abandoned the carriage nearby. On this side, they entered the deep mountains to find the canyon, while the faces of the Wuhan Hall and the Xiandao Empire on the other side were much uglier. "Is this the letter written by Jin Ringsu?" Bibi Dong looked at the perfunctory words on it, and the whole person was full of anger. "Is there actually a problem with the letter?" "No." Yihan finished writing and Jin Ringsu read it, and she also felt that there was no problem. Even with the relationship between Zhu Qing and Yihan, it was understandable that Yihan did not show it to him. It was not perfunctory at all, but Bibi Dong was very dissatisfied with Jin Ringsu's attitude, and coupled with her prejudice against Jin Ringsu, after all, it was because of Jin Ringsu that she still did not master the worship hall. The Emperor Zhu of the Xiandao Empire also looked unhappy. "Write a letter to Zhu Qing, tell him that even if he can't get the things, at least he knows what they are." Based on my understanding of Yihan, Zhu Qing must have known it a long time ago. Yihan. To be honest, if Yihan was here, he would definitely throw the letter in the face of Emperor Zhu Yi. I wrote it myself, and it's outrageous to say that this is not my character. Of course, these are all minor episodes. At this moment, Yihan and others were stopped on the mountain road. That's right, they were robbed. A group of 3 people stood in front of Yihan. To be honest, for the sake of safety, Yihan still made an assessment. Wang Chenggai, level 24 Soul Master, no threat. Wang Huayu, level 26 Soul Master, no threat. Chen Yu, Boundary Guard Soul. We are soul masters, give us the good stuff quickly, and we won't make things difficult for you. Wang Huayu said bluntly. Boundary Guard Soul? Interesting. Yi Han tried to look at Zhao Lei. Zhao Lei understood and stood up. The impact of the 9 soul rings scared the 3 of them. Title Douluo. Big brother is a title Douluo. Wang Chang'ai stammered. This lord is offended, we will leave now. Chen Yu was about to run away, but was stopped by Yi Han. This is a deserted place, why are you robbing here? I want to hear the truth, otherwise you will be a corpse in the next moment. Yi Han said coldly. The effect of this fright was still significant. Wang Chang'ai sat on the ground, pointing at Chen Yu, tears streaming down his eyes. It's all because of this Chen Yu. Hey, don't cry. Chen Yu said speechlessly. We're all going to die anyway, sir. It's all because Chen Yu made me swallow the poison and forced us. Wang Huayu said with some difficulty. Yi Han had a strange look on his face. The previous identification did not show any poisoning, which showed that the two were fooled. Okay, you can leave, Chen Yu stay. Seeing Chen Yu who was about to leave, Zhao Lei directly blocked Chen Yu. The latter took a step back and smiled awkwardly. I don't know what you want to talk to me about. What does the guardian soul mean? Yi Han adhered to the principle of asking if he didn't understand. After all, he really didn't know what this profession was. Chen Yu, who was originally calm, changed his expression, but soon recovered his composure. You are joking, sir. I have never heard of what you said. Guarding what? Facing Chen Yu who was pretending to be stupid, Yi Han touched his chin. The guarding soul, as soon as the name is heard, is the soul that guards the earth. Since you have to guard the earth, you must not leave any place. Thinking of this, Yi Han smiled evilly and said, in this case, come with us. Sister Yi Yi is in your care. Hearing Yi Han's name and asking Yi Yi to come forward, everyone looked at Chen Yu, and Yi Yi also roughly understood. The Zanpakuto was unsheathed, and the soul-killing attribute on his body was slightly dispersed. Now Chen Yu panicked. Damn, where did this ruthless person come from? This energy will shatter his soul if touched, and he can't leave this mountain at all. Facing Yi Han who seemed to be smiling, Chen Yu was scared. I am the guarding soul. What is the guarding soul? Yi Han asked curiously. Chen Yu, on the other hand, had a look of you're kidding me, but he still said obediently, the soul body guarding a forbidden area in this mountain is the guardian soul. What forbidden area? The earth gods? Yi Han asked tentatively. Chen Yu said in confusion, I don't know. I wasn't a guardian soul at all, but the previous guardian soul killed me and forced me to take his place, and ran away without saying anything. Yi Han believed it. Chen Yu didn't have any hidden signs. It seemed that Chen Yu really didn't know anything. Look, sir, I've said everything, can I leave now? Huh? Yoruichi Zanpakuto approached Chen Yu for a while, and the latter trembled. No, sir, keep this knife away from me, I feel like I'm suffocating. Take me to the forbidden area. Yi Han said calmly. Okay, come with me. Chen Yu did not hesitate at all, and took Yi Han to the forbidden area, and soon came to a stone gate. The forbidden area is in front of us. As a guardian soul, I can't get in. Yi Han nodded, you can go. Seeing Yi Yi put away his knife, Chen Yu breathed a sigh of relief and turned around and ran. The energy here is very strange. Yi Yi pointed to the inside of the stone gate with a serious face. There are many souls inside. Isn't it the earth god? Why are there so many souls? Ben Zhou asked with some doubts. Esdeath closed his eyes after hearing this, confirmed the map in his mind, and said firmly, it should be this mountain, no doubt. No matter what, since we are here, let's go in and take a look. Yi Han, wearing golden armor, took the lead in walking into the stone gate, and others followed. Just like what we saw outside, there were only various stones inside, which were very messy and disorderly. This place is more panoramic than the Bishu Lake. After all, what's so good about it being all stone? But because of the previous experience of Bishu Lake, Yi Han still planned to test it. Then he regretted it. It was too big. The place behind the stone gate was really terrifying. So Yi Han and others got lost gloriously. How about I fly up and see the way? Jin Ringsu said after hesitating for a while. Yi Han nodded in agreement. A pair of white angel wings appeared behind Jin Ringsu, which looked beautiful for a while. Jin Ringsu was seen waving her wings, waving her wings, waving her wings. Your wings are fake. Yihan looked at Jinriksu, who was standing still and couldn't help complaining. Jinriksu was also confused. Why can't I fly anymore? It shouldn't be like this. Yihan frowned. Not being able to fly and not being able to fly are two different concepts. Vimana was summoned from the king's treasure. Just above the Vimana, a huge magic array was created. The Vimana, which was originally floating in the air, fell to the ground. No matter how Yihan input his soul power, the Vimana could not fly. It seems that there is a so-called forbidden air array here. If so, we are trapped inside. Yihan said helplessly. We can walk back along the ice road we tested. Bing Haoyu pointed to the ice road beside him. Unfortunately, as everyone walked back for a while, the ice road that was originally connected disappeared. Now they are completely lost. Chapter 205, Twin Gods. Although he had lost his way and couldn't find the way back. But Yihan was not panicked at all. After all, he had just tried it and it was still possible to return to the city. At worst, he could just run away if he couldn't hold on. He had no psychological pressure at all. However, since he was lost, he would not sit there and wait for death. It would be better to walk forward. Ziohan, look. Just when he was bored, Yi suddenly pulled Yihan's clothes and pointed to the ground in the distance. Yihan perked up when he heard it, looked at a long ice road on the ground and was stunned, then smiled. It's interesting. This ice road will appear in front, which means that the ground inside is moving. What a trouble. Jaleh said in despair. Yihan finally understood why the whole mountain was so big, but it seemed that after entering it, the space became very huge. In fact, it was not that he entered a special space, but that these boundaries were constantly moving, giving people a feeling that they would never reach the end. I wonder if I can find a bug. Esdeath, use ice to send me up. Yihan had an idea and said to Esdeath on the side. Esdeath waved his hand, and an icicle appeared under Yihan's feet, carrying Yihan into the air at a high speed. Feeling that there was no resistance at all, Yihan smiled slightly. Just now, Yihan suddenly found that it seemed that he just couldn't fly here, but he could still jump. So I didn't fly, but I could stand higher, right? Seeing that Yihan was fine, Esdeath and Bing Haoyu attacked at the same time, and icicles appeared under everyone's feet, reaching the same height as Yihan. It turns out that the whole canyon is not very big. It's even very small. Some things can only be seen clearly when standing in the air, such as the entire canyon is divided into 5 parts. It is constantly moving, and it is very regular, not disorderly. I didn't expect us to spend so much time around such a small place. Leah said with some emotion. Yihan didn't care. At least he didn't need to teleport to the rebirth point after discovering this. He could do it again. Sister Yi, you said there were souls in it before. Can you still sense them now? Yes, but it seems that these souls know the rules of these places and have been avoiding us. Yi pointed in several directions. Yihan smiled and said, it's okay. Now we know. Let's find the nearest one and ask him first. With a target in mind, Yihan and his team acted decisively and soon found a soul in a plate. The soul looked at Yihan and his team in disbelief. Impossible. How could you find me? I clearly bypassed you. The soul said in surprise for a moment, then turned around and ran away. Yihan's hand, which was about to say hello, froze in midair. You are really ungrateful for not accepting my toast, Sister Yoruichi. Yoruichi disappeared from the spot in an instant, and the next moment Tarzan Pakuto was already on the neck of the soul body. The soul body was also very aware of the situation and did not move. Big brother, big sister, take it away, I'm dying. Yihan walked over slowly. What's your name? Am I a bad guy? You run away when you see me. The soul body smiled awkwardly. My name is Ergo. It's not that I want to run, but the person next to you, if the energy in his body leaks a little, I will die directly. Yihan also knew about Yoruichi's suppression of soul bodies, and did not care. He asked calmly, tell me. What is going on here? I think you should know how to say it, otherwise don't blame me if you die. Ergo asked fearfully, excuse me, may I ask, what exactly are you gentlemen here for? Any explanation? Yihan asked with a smile. If you just got lost, I can send you out. Ergo said, paused for a while, and said solemnly, if you have other purposes, please go back. It's too dangerous here. Earth God. After Yihan finished speaking, Ergo trembled and said with some fear, let's go. This is not something you can get involved in. I coveted the so-called treasure at the beginning, and even my soul was imprisoned here after I died. Why does the Earth God have the power of the soul? Yuhan asked solemnly, which was also the point he was most curious and worried about. This is not only the territory of the Earth God, but also the territory of the Soul God. It is the place where the two gods jointly test. The Earth God is responsible for the implementation of the land formation, and the Soul God is responsible for keeping all unqualified people here. Ergo said with some despair. Thinking back to the beginning, he didn't come here to find a divine test at all. He heard that there was a treasure here, so he came in, but the place here is changeable, and he got lost not long after. Not knowing where to go, he had no choice but to move forward aimlessly. Finally, one day, I don't know if it was a coincidence, he came to a palace. Originally thought that the treasure would be found and then appeared, but there was nothing inside, only a crystal ball. Ergo wanted to take it away, but the moment he touched it, he was analyzed as unqualified, and then he became a soul body imprisoned in it. Since then, Ergo has seen many people who come to adventure, but without exception, they have become the same as him. In the end, they decided to tell them about the dangers when they saw them. But who would want to leave when they came in? In the end, they were unwilling to leave and threatened Ergo to take them to find the temple, and finally became like them. In desperation, Ergo and others chose to avoid the people who came in, wait for the people who came in to faint from hunger, and then throw them out. This is also the only thing they can do. After hearing this, Yuhan was also a little surprised at the cruelty of this divine test. After all, if you fail, you will die, which is too cruel. Haven't you found a way to get rid of it? Yuhan asked doubtfully. Ergo sighed. The only way is that someone can take away the divine test of the God of Souls, otherwise once our souls die, our souls will be scattered and we will die completely. I see, take us to see it. Yuhan said calmly. Ergo shook his head helplessly. Sure enough, you guys are all the same, not afraid of death. But Ergo knew he couldn't stop it, and even had some expectations. You know, Yi is the first person he has seen using soul power in hundreds of years. In this case, does it mean that she has a chance to take away the Soul God's divine test? Perhaps with a little luck, the group came to the side of a stone. Ergo pushed the stone skillfully, and a palace slowly rose from the ground. My lords, I am a soul body. I can't get in, so I'll wait for you outside. Ergo arched his hands and hesitated for a while. If it doesn't work, please leave quickly. Yuhan nodded and walked into the palace. It was very plainly decorated, mostly with earth blocks. The only gorgeous thing was the stone pillars and crystal balls in the middle of the palace. How is it? Yuhan looked at Yi. You know, Yi is a god of death, and he is naturally restrained by soul power. I can absorb it directly, but it will take at least a month, and there is no guarantee that the Earth God on one side will not hinder it. After all, this is not a divine test, but a plunder. Yi said worriedly. Yuhan heard this and said seriously, absorb quietly, we will deal with the Earth God on the side. Since there is a chance, Yuhan will not give up. And the power of the Soul God may allow Yi to reach a higher level. Yuhan will never give up such an opportunity. As for the Earth God's obstruction, to put it bluntly, he may not be able to deal with it, but if he really spends a month, he is still confident. Here, wear this first and absorb it with peace of mind. Yuhan took off the golden armor and handed it to Yi, while the others walked to the side of the Earth God's stone pillar and watched freely. Chapter 206 Even if it's God, I'll kill you. As Yi began to absorb the power of the soul, the entire palace suddenly began to tremble. Yuhan frowned and stared at the stone pillar and the crystal ball. Soon the trembling stopped, and two shadows slowly appeared in front of everyone. One was a hunchbacked old man. Although he looked very old, his eyes were very energetic. The other was a very indifferent middle-aged man. As soon as the two appeared, they locked Yi as their first target. Seeing this, Yuhan and others instantly blocked Yi. Ha ha ha. Don't be nervous, little kid. He and I are just a thought body. Don't worry. The Earth God said very kindly. But even so, Yuhan still looked at the two people vigilantly. No matter from which point of view, they were not good. This little girl has a good aptitude. If it was 1,000 years ago, my position would have been passed on to her. Unfortunately, it's too late now. The Soul God said coldly. What do you mean? Yuhan asked puzzledly. Our position has been passed on. After all, 1,000 years have passed. The Earth God did not hide it. Then where are you now? Why are you here? Yuhan always felt that the two people would not appear for no reason. Haha. I really don't know where it is. We are just the body of thoughts, and we are just waiting for the destined person. The Earth God shook his head very open-mindedly. The soul god on the side was going to yee. It's wrong for you to absorb like this. You can't inherit the soul god on the future. You must accept the god's test. After the soul god said this, Yuhan understood that this was to imprint the soul god's mark on Yi, although it would be much easier for Yi to become a god on the future. But you can only follow the path of your predecessors. This looks good, but for people like Yuhan who are ready to become gods on their own, it is indeed not good. Don't bother God, we are not ready to become gods without relying on our predecessors. Yuhan stood in front of the soul god indifferently. The soul god frowned, and a force rose from his body. Yuhan's pupils shrank. Yuhan knew the cruelty of the soul god from Ergu. The king's treasure opened, and the heavens lock flew out. Facing the flying heavens lock, the soul god subconsciously stopped mobilizing energy and dodged. Just a slight touch, the expression of the soul god finally fluctuated, and even the earth god, who had been smiling all the time, became solemn. The power of killing gods is really terrifying. But if this is what you rely on, maybe you will all stay here today. The soul god regained his expressionless state and looked at everyone indifferently. Tisk. What a trouble, do we have to fight? Yuhan was a little unsure of the soul god's purpose. If he wanted to stop Yi from absorbing the god test in this way, he could interrupt Yi directly, but he didn't. Instead it was like a test. Since you want to become a god yourself, let me see what your confidence is. The soul god said, and an invisible big hand quickly approached Yuhan. Faced with such a strange situation, Yuhan didn't react for a while, but the next moment, a big clock appeared behind Tang San. It was the Emperor KK. The fourth soul skill, the Emperor KK, seventh bullet. The ability of time. These little guys are really not simple. The earth god had no intention of taking action at all, and was very comfortable drinking tea and watching the show. Yuhan also took this opportunity to retreat quickly. Although the seventh bullet was offset instantly, the half-second pause was enough for Yuhan to leave the spot. Interesting. The soul god disappeared on the spot, aiming directly at Tang San. In his opinion, people who can use time are the most troublesome. Soul bone skills, cover movement. Fourth soul skill, absolute defense. Benjo Feng's black dark knight shield hit the ground, resisting the attack of the soul god. The whole person flew backwards, leaving a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth. It's really strange, Ling Yi's attack is a soul attack. Since this little girl was only slightly injured, her soul is basically fine. And my floor. The earth god was a little surprised, and looked at a broken floor with some heartache. The soul god Ling Yi was also a little surprised, but soon regained his calm, and even had a hint of expectation in his eyes. Yuhan was not worried about Benjo Feng's defense, especially Benjo Feng's defense was different from that of ordinary defensive soul masters. The defense from the system covers a wide range. Basically, any attack is included in this defense. This is why Ling Yi's attack only caused minor injuries. Facing the sudden attack, Zhale and Bing Haoai would not sit and wait for death. The 9 soul rings on their bodies flashed, and Jin Ringsu also opened her martial soul, but was stopped by the earth god the next moment. Don't disturb other people's battles. If you really want to fight, I will play with you, and you are interesting. One has the breath of the angel god, one is the owner of the angel god's divine test, and one has the crazy woman of the Bing god. No, it seems that she is not that crazy woman. The earth god stopped the two of them casually. Yuhan frowned. He had already felt that although Ling Yi was very cruel, he had no intention of killing. Uncle Zhao, old man Bing, don't participate in this battle. Freeze it. Ice erupted around Esdeath on the other side, and a large amount of ice instantly surrounded the soul god. As the moment of freezing, Dongtang burst out with a powerful force, Black Flash 5 combos. The powerful Black Flash soul power violently smashed on the ice. Hey. My old man's palace. You really don't know how expensive firewood, rice, oil and salt are if you don't manage the house. The earth god roared in pain. The battle has reached this point. Yuhan doesn't think it's over, especially since several people have purple magic pupils and can naturally see that Ling Yi is intact in the smoke. One hand stretched out of the smoke and waved it gently, and the entire smoke disappeared. The body was still intact, but a large amount of soul power continued to gather behind it. It's almost done, Let's stop here. Ling Yi looked at the people in front of him with some disappointment. After all, he had some expectations before. An invisible energy burst out, and Benjo Fen quickly returned to the front of everyone. First soul skill, evil food. A demon appeared on the Dark Knight shield and quickly devoured Ling Yi's energy. Chop. Leah, who had been accumulating power, burst out with a powerful slash at this moment. Although it was not a curry stick, it was already the highest attack she could release at present. Ling Yi didn't expect his attack to be ineffective. Facing the sudden slash, he stretched out his hand to crush the slash, and then looked at the scar in his hand. Although it was just a thought body, it may not even have 1/10 of the combat power of the original body, but you have to know that Yuhan and others are only soul emperors, which is far inferior to God. Ling Yi stopped, and Yuhan and others also stopped. If I kill your thought body, it should be fine. Yuhan laughed crazily. Ling Yi said coldly, kill it, then this matter ends here. Not only will the energy of this god's test be given to that little girl, I will also give you a gift. The earth god shook his head. Young people are always ambitious. This is not good. He is very familiar with Ling Yi and knows that if Yuhan can't do it, Ling Yi will definitely be very angry. Yuhan, there is only one chance. Control it for 1 second is enough. In the guild group, Yuhan spoke calmly. Several people looked at each other, and Esdeath turned his head to the east hall, where ice was condensed around. Ling Yi rushed over quickly. He would not wait for Yuhan and others to be ready. Don't even think about it. Benjo Fen rushed towards Ling Yi quickly. For Ling Yi, he knew the disadvantages of evil food at first sight. He did not use energy and wanted to kick Benjo Fen away. But the next moment, Leia held the holy sword and stopped Ling Yi directly. However, it didn't matter who she kicked. Leia, who flew backwards, burst out with a lot of soul power. Third soul skill, the heart of the red dragon. Roar. The shadow of a red dragon appeared behind Leia. Leia, who was in full state, rushed up desperately. Esdeath on one side arranged everything and stretched out his right hand. Fourth soul skill, General Biglin. A large number of ice cavalry rushed out. With this block, Tang San condensed all her soul power and used the 7 bullets. Dongtang on the other side did the same to ensure that he could exchange positions with Ling Yi. All soul powers used the unjust game. Snap. It's over. As the crisp sound rang out, Ling Yi was surprised to find that his position had been exchanged with Dongtang. The next moment, the ice froze, and Tang San's time stopped and controlled instantly. Even so, the earth god on the side still didn't think highly of Yuhan and the others. Controlling them didn't mean they could be killed. But the next moment, Yuhan opened his eyes, and a pair of strange eyes made Ling Yi and the earth god's pupils shrink. Third soul skill, true name liberation, direct death magic eyes. With these eyes, even if it's a god, I will kill you. The long knife stabbed at the only point on Ling Yi's body. All this happened in just 1 second. There was a trace of relief and expectation on Ling Yi's paralyzed face. Maybe you can really break the 1,000-year rule. After saying that, Ling Yi's entire thought body began to slowly dissipate, and the earth god on the side was also dumbfounded. Yuhan turned his head and looked at the earth god with a pair of strange eyes. Please spare me. I'm old, so I won't fight anymore. Here, I'll give it to you. I feel the same energy from you. A symbol of a piece of earth appeared in front of Yuhan, and the earth god slowly dissipated. It's great to be young. Facing the departure of the earth god, everyone sat on the ground and gasped. Compared with the previous use of the death eye, it is much better now, at least they won't faint. This matter has finally come to an end, and Yuhan can breathe a sigh of relief. Chapter 207 The Last 7 Gods. The soul god Ling Yi and the old earth god had disappeared, and the entire temple was completely quiet. Uncle Zhao, old man Bing, you guard us for a while, we need to recover. Yuhan came to Yi and sat down quietly to adjust his breath. Uzio Douluo, Bing Douluo, am I very weak? Jin Ringsu sighed as she watched the few people who had entered the recovery state. Zhale and Bing Haoyu didn't expect Jin Ringsu to say this for a moment. Along the way, the two were still very wary of Jin Ringsu's identity as a member of the Spirit Hall. Fortunately, the little girl was still very well behaved. They had been through thick and thin together. It shouldn't be weak. At your age, you're already a soul saint, which is amazing. Zhale said comfortingly. But Jin Ringsu was even more frustrated by this, but I can't help at all. Even the soul god doesn't seem to want to fight with me. Bing Hao and Zhao Lei looked at each other and saw each other's helplessness. They didn't have a girlfriend at such an age, and who knows how to coax a girl. Maybe it's not that I don't want to fight with you, but it's unnecessary. Yi Han's voice sounded slowly. What do you mean? Jin Ringsu's eyes lit up. Yi Han said calmly, maybe it's because you are the one who has the god test. As for Uncle Zhao and Old Man Bing, they just feel simple because they are old. This is really not to comfort Jin Ringsu. When Yi Han was recovering his soul power, he was thinking about why the soul god and the earth god left the thought body. If it was to tell people the correct way to obtain the god test, it could be enforced. Yi Han and others would never be able to stop it, but Ling Yi did not do so, but chose to fight. And when the thought body was killed, the look of relief made people feel that things were not simple. Jin Ringsu felt much better after hearing Yi Han's explanation. Seeing this, Yi Han took out two signs from his arms, one representing the earth god and the other representing the soul god. Does it look familiar? Yi Han pointed to the soul god's sign proudly. Jin Ringsu looked at it carefully for a while, and said in surprise, it's on the stone tablet. Yes, it's the seventh one. In this case, we only have the sixth one left and we don't know what it is. It's really a piece of cake. Yi Han didn't expect that the gift that the soul god said he would give him when he left was this, but this is indeed what Yi Han needs. After showing off, Yi Han and others began to set up camp. After all, they have to live here for at least a month. Fortunately, the temple of the earth god is different from the previous temples. It will collapse directly like the ice god and the fire god. It's not the end. The group quickly sorted out, and the alert Esdeath suddenly came over and took out a glittering ice flower. Seeing this, Yi Han immediately called everyone to come over. Little Esdeath, why did it take so long to get through? Don't you love me anymore? Hearing Luo Zai's pitiful tone, Yi Han said very impolitely, it's me. Why is it always you? It was you when you looked for me, and why is it still you when I looked for little Esdeath? Luo Zai said very unhappy when she heard Yi Han's voice. Unfortunately, Yi Han didn't care about Luo Zai's tone at all, and said casually, tell me. What do you want to see us for? Why do I want to see you? I'm looking for little Esdeath. Luo Zai said irritably. Yi Han smiled, we have found the seventh sign before, have you found the sixth one? Luo Zai was stunned, and asked in confusion, how did you find the seventh one? I haven't found it yet. The seventh is the sign of the god of souls, we had a fight with his thought body. Yi Han explained. What the hell? The soul god dares to hit little Esdeath, I'm going to find him now. Luo Zai said as he was about to get up. He was going to find the soul god and tell him that since he went down to play secretly without her. Seeing this, Yi Han hurriedly said, don't be impulsive. It's not the soul god of this session, but the soul god of 1,000 years ago. Why are you so anxious? Then I can't beat him. After all, it's been thousands of years, he must be stronger than me. Luo Zai said a little frustrated. Yi Han's face was dark, no one asked you to beat him. Have you found the sixth symbol? I found it. It's the symbol from the wind god, but it's also a symbol from 1,000 years ago. Because the symbol of the wind god of this session has been greatly changed, no one knows it. I still found it in the ancient books, and I also asked the wind god to confirm it. It's basically correct. Luo Zai's words made Yi Han look a little thoughtful. Luo Zai asks you something. Is the symbol used by the last ice god the current one? Have other gods changed their symbols? Yi Han asked seriously. Of course I haven't changed it. I'm so tired of changing it. Why not just use it directly? As for the other gods, Luo Zai thought for a while and continued, some of them should be changed. I also asked the god of wind why he changed it. He said that it was because he wanted to show that he was the new god of wind, so he had to have a new symbol. Hearing this, Yi Han took out all the symbols one by one and lined them up in a row. The god of thunder, the god of water, the god of fire, the god of earth and your god of ice have not been changed. The god of souls and the god of wind are both from thousands of years ago. Can I understand that these symbols actually correspond to these gods from thousands of years ago, and the relics are also the work of the gods from thousands of years ago? Yi Han's words startled everyone. Although this guess was bold, it did have a basis. Wait. The ice flower was given to me by Luo Zai. Does it mean that there is another ice flower in Douluo Continent, or in the far north? Esdeath asked in surprise. Yi Han nodded, it should be. The only thing I don't understand now is why the symbol of the thunder god is in the sky thunder. You know, It is impossible for humans to experience the sky thunder. Only soul beasts can trigger the condition of the sky thunder. Yours should be given by the thunder god of our generation. Luo Zai hesitated and said, I am not sure. I only found out when I returned to the ice god's mansion. The thunder god said that since there is a human on the continent who can block the last blow of the 600,000-year thunder tribulation, he mixed a divine test, but for some reason it was not triggered, and the energy in the symbol has rebelled and started to absorb the sky thunder to feed back to his master. But the thunder god doesn't seem to care, and said that this is the ability of the person who got the symbol. I didn't expect it to be you, a nasty little devil. Yuhan also understood it. Because Camelot blocked the last thunder tribulation, the thunder god was moved, but the symbol was locked by the heaven's chain, so the divine side could not be displayed at all. Later, he felt other benefits from Yuhan, and coupled with a large number of anti-god treasures in the king's treasure, the symbol panicked. Now it is only locked by the heaven's chain. God knows if it will be destroyed tomorrow. It's interesting. The far north is too big. Send me the location of the thunder god and the wind god. If I can find a key with a thunder god symbol, I should be able to prove my speculation. Yuhan said with some expectation. Originally, Yuhan came here just to take the initiative in his own hands, but now his purpose has changed. He began to be interested in the ruins. In the end, the earth god and the soul god were probably referring to the ruins. Why did 7 gods, no, 7 people who had given up their positions, want to do this? What is the purpose, good or bad? Maybe there are very important things in the ruins. Yuhan didn't know all these, but there was always a hunch that told Yuhan that if he didn't go in and get the things inside, Yuhan would regret it. Chapter 208, Strong Sense of Immersion. A month passed quietly, and Yi finally came out of that state of cultivation. Ah, cool. Yi stood up and made a voice that made people imagine. Yuhan and others also felt Yi's awakening. How do you feel, Sister Yi? I haven't felt so comfortable for a long time. The soul power in my body is almost exceeding my soul power. Yi waved her hand casually, and she could bring up the soul power scattered in the space. Yuhan didn't expect that absorbing a divine test would have such a big effect. Now that you are well, eat something and rest for a while. Let's go out and show them to the spirit hall. Yuhan took Yi to the edge of the tent. Why do we have to show them? Ben Zhou asked in confusion. Yuhan smiled. The matter of the water god was a big deal before. If we keep hiding it, it proves that we have something to hide. It's better to stand up openly. After this explanation, everyone understood. Now all major forces are waiting to see whether Yuhan and others really get the water god's divine test. As long as Yuhan stands up openly, the matter of the divine test will naturally be broken without attacking. After figuring this out, everyone stopped questioning, while Yi was eating quickly. After eating and drinking, everyone was ready to set off. When they pushed open the door of the temple, they saw a large group of souls standing in front of them. Yi frowned and took a step forward. All the souls took a step back in fear. There was no way Yi could control the extra soul power well. In the eyes of these souls, Yi was now a human nuclear bomb that would explode at the touch. Benefactor, benefactor, we are not here to cause trouble. We are here to thank you. Ergu ran out of the soul army, carefully avoiding Yi and coming to Yuhan. At this moment, Yuhan remembered that there were many souls imprisoned here. It's okay, you can go to reincarnate. No matter what, thank you for this matter. If I meet you in the next life, Ergu will definitely serve you wholeheartedly. Ergu said very seriously. Serve you wholeheartedly. The souls behind Ergu shouted loudly in unison. Yuhan smiled gently. That's not necessary. After reincarnation, walk your own way. Yuhan is here to see you off. Yuhan didn't take the so-called slavery seriously. Even if he really reincarnated and came to Douluo Continent, it would take more than 20 years to grow up. In this time, Yuhan should have gone to the God realm. A large number of souls began to disappear, and soon the originally lively place became very quiet. There was no flying in the mountains, and the land was no longer moving. Yuhan quickly found the exit. After that, Yuhan and others spent some time openly appearing in the Xiandao Empire, and then strolled back to Anil City, without any awareness of getting the water god's divine test. This also made everyone doubt whether Yuhan really got the divine test. According to reason, ordinary people who get the divine test would want to hide and practice until they reach the 99th level of title Douluo before coming out. For a while, Jin Rinxu's letters were overwhelming again, So Yuhan began to read late at night again. However, with Jinriksu's clarification, both the Xiandao Empire and the Spirit Hall knew that Yuhan did not pass the God test, but only got a treasure. Among them, Bibi Dong breathed a sigh of relief. According to Yihan's talent, if he passed the God test, he might become a titled Douluo within 5 years. What a concept. Once Yuhan really becomes powerful, the Spirit Hall will definitely be the first to be killed. After all, the grudge between the two families is not low. The Xingluo Empire feels very aggrieved now. The news they receive is always half a beat slower than others, and they are all revealed to them by the Xiandao Empire and the Spirit Hall. This makes the Xingluo Empire feel that they have been given alms, but they can't figure out how these two forces know the information about Yihan. I haven't been back to Anil City for a while, and now Anil City is becoming more and more prosperous. However, the downside of prosperity is that Yi came to Yihan's room with a bunch of names. Ziohan, take a look. These are all spies collected by the criminal army. It was okay before, but since you got the treasure of the water god, the number has skyrocketed, especially the people from the Xingluo Empire. Yihan's mouth twitched slightly, watching the number on the list soar from more than 20 to more than 200. It is actually normal for a city to have some spies. Even if you clean them up, there will be the next batch of people coming, and they will be more cautious, which means they will be more difficult to find. So Yuhan basically turned a blind eye to the first 20 or so people, and muddled along. Anyway, they couldn't get any useful information. As long as it doesn't affect the real public security, it's fine. This Xingluo Empire is sick. Even if it's the water god, what's the point of sending more than 150 at once? It's crazier than the Wuhan Hall and the Xiandao Empire. Yihan looked at the names of the spies speechlessly. Yi was also a little depressed. I don't know why, I just came back. Bai Chengxiang gave me the list and asked me what to do, and I guess the Xingluo Empire is still sending people over. What's going on? Are you planning to use the people of the Xingluo Empire to replace all the people in Anil City? Yuhan circled the Xingluo Empire with some dissatisfaction. Jinriksu, who was drinking tea, had a strange look on her face and had some guesses. Ahem. Should we do it now? Yi asked calmly. Jinriksu, ahem. Break all their legs, put evidence on their bodies, and throw them out. Yuhan said unhappily, the Xingluo Empire is so far away from us, and they still do this kind of thing. These spies are really brave and should crawl back. I despise them even if they dare to wait until their legs are healed. Jinriksu, ahem. What about the other spies? Yi pointed at the Xiandao Empire and the Wuhan Hall. Jinriksu, ahem. With Jinriksu's unremitting efforts, everyone finally looked at Jinriksu. Yuhan said uncertainly, don't you think that these spies of the Xingluo Empire are related to you? In a sense, they are. Jinriksu said, and Esdeath and others looked a little dangerous. Seeing this, Jinriksu hurriedly explained, no, it's not what you think, but because I have been transmitting information to the Spirit Hall and the Xiandao Empire. This caused the Xingluo Empire to be a step behind. It would be strange if the Xingluo Empire is not anxious. With this explanation, Yihan understood that it seemed to be true. As one of the four major forces, why was the Xingluo Empire always a step behind the Spirit Hall and the Xiandao Empire? Most of the information was given out by the Spirit Hall and the Xiandao Empire. Who can stand it? Thinking about the faces of the Spirit Hall and the Xiandao Empire, it has to be said that the sense of substitution is very strong. Yihan has had some cerebral hemorrhage. But understanding is understanding, but Yihan still hates this kind of behavior, so Yihan's usual approach is, I understand you, but I won't let you go. Since you are here, I will treat you equally, but I can take this opportunity to raise Xiaoxu's status. Yihan said with a sly smile. One night, the Xiandao Empire and the Spirit Hall received letters at the same time. The content was very simple. Jinriksu said that Yihan wanted to purge the spies in Anil City and suggested evacuation. The Spirit Hall now basically trusts Jinriksu 100%, and Bibi Dong naturally does too. After all, Jinriksu's grandfather was killed by Yihan. So the Spirit Hall evacuated the people of the Spirit Hall early the next morning. Although the Xiandao Empire was a little hesitant, it still chose to believe Jinriksu. As the personnel were almost evacuated, Yihan took action. A large number of spies were labeled with evidence of guilt, had their legs broken and thrown out. For a time, the Xingluo Empire became famous, especially the people of Anil City. Most of the people who came to Anil City were civilians, and they were truly protected in Anil City. No matter what you do, as long as you work hard, you will definitely have a good life, will not be bullied, and will be respected. The children of the family can also join the army to get better treatment or go to school, which is something they dared not think about before. In their view, Anil City is simply a perfect city. Now that the Xingluo Empire has sent so many spies, it is simply too much. The Xiandao Empire and the Wuhan Hall naturally received the news. Both of them were a little scared. At first, when Jin Ringsu said it was a purge, they thought they were just killed. Who knew it was such a social death method? The emperor of the Xingluo Empire naturally received the news, and he was so angry that he almost passed the throne to Daimyo on the spot. Why did the people of the Wuhan Hall and the Xiandao Empire evacuate? We only found out afterwards. One step slower, one step slower. Are hundreds of spies not as good as a few others? They are all trash, trash. The anger of the Xingluo Emperor filled the entire court. The ministers below didn't care about talking nonsense one by one. After all, it was too embarrassing. Now the whole continent knows that the Xingluo Empire has planted hundreds of spies in Anil City and has been uprooted. Daimyo was also a little confused. You know, these spies are professionally trained, so they shouldn't be discovered so quickly. And it's too outrageous that so many can compare to a few others. As for why they are so fast and accurate, one is because of the special training mode of the criminal army, and the other is that Yi went to see the captured people. After an identification, those who were labeled as spies were not interrogated, and no evidence was given. They were directly killed. This way, the speed increased immediately, and these spies were also depressed. After all, Yi insisted that they were spies without any evidence. No matter how they explained, it was useless. Chapter 209, Encounter. With the matter of Anil City finished, after a day or two of rest, Yi Han was not ready to wait any longer, and the last two locations had been determined. One was the god of wind, and the other was the god of thunder. The places where the two signs were located were very strange, both were canyons, and the nearby areas were not suitable for human habitation. Yi Han's primary goal was to go to Hurricane Canyon to find the sign of the god of wind. On the one hand, it was because there was only one sign left out of the 7. As for the sign of the god of thunder, it was mostly to prove his own conjecture. If he couldn't find it at that time, Yi Han would not waste his time. Wow! Is this the Hurricane Canyon? What a strong wind! Ben Zhou held down her skirt and looked around in surprise. Yi Han was feasting his eyes. Although several people were very careful and held down their skirts, the flying skirt still allowed him to see the white thighs. Ahem, of course, this was only temporary. Esdeath quickly built an ice house, and the women went in and quickly changed their pants and came out. Yi Han could only express regret for this. The wind in Hurricane Canyon was very strong. Because of the wind, the flying sand around was also blown into dust, making people's vision very poor. And Yi Han found that if he used soul power to resist here, the speed of soul power consumption would be many times faster than outside. It was obvious that it must be the work of the god of wind. Xiao Han, do you see a few black spots flying towards us? Yi frowned and pointed to the front, attracting everyone's attention at once. Yi Han was also puzzled. According to intelligence, there should be no living creatures that can survive inside the Hurricane Canyon, especially at night, when the wind and sand here will become stronger. Stop, stop. I'm so annoyed. Think of a way. Don't shout, use soul power steadily and accurately, otherwise we will all die if we hit the wall. Faced with the black spots getting closer and closer, Yi Han was completely sure that it was a person. Dongtang ran out quickly and caught one with one hand, and Esdeath caught the only girl. The three of them suddenly felt that someone was blocking their retreat from behind. Taking this opportunity, they quickly stood firm on the ground. Thank you, brother. Dongtang. Who are you? Dongtang looked at the familiar face and was a little entangled. It's me, Fengzai Ocean. Advanced Soul Master Academy, Kamikaze Academy, have you forgotten? We joined your Anil City. Fengzai Ocean said anxiously when he looked at Dongtang, who didn't remember him. Oh. Dongtang pointed at Fengzai Ocean and Ho Washuang and Ho Wu on the side excitedly, 1 against 7. The three people who were originally happy to meet acquaintances suddenly froze, almost lost their balance and were blown away again. What are you talking about? Don't mention this kind of thing again in the future. Yi Han on the side recognized Fengzai Ocean when he landed. After all, He still had some impression of these three killers. Okay, Dongtang, come back. Why are you three here? Of course we are here to practice. Feng Xiaoshan said happily when he saw Yihan recognize him. But Hou Wusheng on the side saw Yihan's exquisite face and remembered his green years and famous scenes of social death. Practice? Yihan thought about it. The original book seemed to mention that Feng Xiaoshan and others came to a place to practice in order to defeat Tang San, but it turned out to be Hurricane Canyon. Then you continue, we'll go first. Since they were just practicing and not encountering any trouble, Yihan would not take the three of them with him. Wouldn't that disturb others' practice? Wait. Hou Wu looked at Yihan who was about to leave, and hurriedly stopped him. Can I ask you Xiao Douluo for a favor? The spectator, Zhao Lei. What's the matter? Actually, we came here with Binger, Yuir, Yu Xiangxin, Yu Xianheng and others, but the weather in Hurricane Canyon is changeable, and we were blown away by a strong wind just now. If we don't find them before night, we may be in danger. Hou Wu said with some concern. Hou Wusheng and Feng Xiaoshan on the side also said with a serious look, and you should have felt that the soul power required to resist the wind here is terrifying, so please help. Yihan remembered that originally only Feng Xiaoshan had come into this Hurricane Canyon, and at most Hou Wusheng and Hou Wu had come together. How come now even the two brothers Yu Xiangxin and the two sisters Shui Binger have come to join in the fun? But now is not the time to talk about this. After all, these people have now joined Anil City, and after graduation they are the backbone of Anil City. Let's go. Go and look for them. Yihan walked in front. The entire Hurricane Canyon is not big, and it is not as changeable as the Earth God's territory in the past. The only thing that stands out is the bad weather, but these can be overcome. After a while, Yihan found the four people who were separated, thanks to Zhao Lei and Bing Haoiu, who blocked the strong wind regardless of the consumption of soul power. Binger, Yuir, here. Hou Wu was the most excited to see the two people, and waved quickly. The four heard Hou Wu's voice and ran in the direction of Hou Wu. Yihan. Long time no see. Yu Xianheng saw Yihan running over and was about to give him a big hug, but Yihan turned around without hesitation and kicked Yu Xianheng away. Stop. I finally stopped and I don't want to fly anymore. Seeing Yu Xianheng flying out like a fool, Yihan opened the king's treasure helplessly. The heavens law quickly wrapped around Yu Xianheng's waist and pulled him back directly. I know you still love me, Xiahan. Yu Xianheng said excitedly. The corners of Yihan's mouth twitched slightly. If you say one more word, I will erect a monument for you here. Yihan's words made Yu Xianheng tremble, and he nodded very obediently. Thank you. At this moment, Shui Binger and Shui Yuir were both covered in dust. Shui Yuir had already hidden behind her sister, and Shui Binger could only stand out helplessly. But it can be seen that she is still very embarrassed about her current appearance. You have to take protective measures when you come here to practice. If we don't come here, will you be in trouble? Yihan looked at the few people who were still laughing and joking, and educated them very seriously. Feeling Yihan's severity, the 7 people smiled awkwardly. After all, it was indeed their inconsiderateness. Feng Xiaoshan thought he had a certain understanding of Hurricane Canyon, so he brought people in. But the final result was obvious. Many force majeure situations directly disrupted his plan. Looking at the few people pretending to be ostriches, Yihan sighed helplessly. Okay, we will send you out to rest first. Tomorrow I will let the old poisonous thing accompany you to avoid you from getting into trouble. Hearing that Yihan was not blaming them, several people began to be happy again. Although this place is dangerous, it is really a treasure land for practice. As long as I practice here, I will definitely be able to avenge my hatred in a short time. Revenge. Dongtang looked at Yu Xiangxin in confusion. Yu Xiangxin also looked at Dongtang and asked cautiously, Excuse me, what level are you now? Level 66. What's wrong? Dongtang touched his head and did not hide it. Ahem. Yu Xiangxin felt that he was deeply shocked. He had been practicing crazily for the past few years, but Yihan and others had been running around outside, with no intention of practicing at all. As a result, their soul power was much higher than theirs. Yihan also saw the despair of Yu Xiangxin and Hou Wu, and smiled maliciously. You are not all going to take revenge. The target is not us. As soon as these words came out, Leah and Esdeath looked at the team that was defeated by 7 at the beginning, and the atmosphere became a little subtle. Why take revenge on you? I'm talking about the Shrek 7 Devils. That's right, the Shrek 7 Devils. Feng Xiaoshan felt uncomfortable being looked at, and suddenly an idea came to him. Yes, yes. Tang San and the others are too hateful. That's right, beat Tang San. Looking at the people who found an outlet for venting, Yihan smiled evilly. To put it bluntly, except for Ning from the auxiliary system, you may not even be able to beat Oscar from the food system. Yihan was not exaggerating. Oscar's mirror sausage was too buggy, and of course it was easy to target. But these words exploded in the ears of these people. It was not because they did not believe Yihan, but because they believed in Yihan too much. For a moment, they really felt endless pressure. The pressure from Oscar. If they really couldn't beat even an auxiliary spirit master in the future, they would lose face. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 210, Can't Afford to Play? On the second morning, Yihan entered the Hurricane Canyon early, while Feng Xiaoshan and others on the other side were waiting for the arrival of poisoned Douluo. And Yihan was not going to take them with him. If they encountered the thought body of God, these people would definitely die. The entire Hurricane Canyon was not big. Facing the strong wind, Yihan searched carefully, but he really didn't find anything. He had no choice but to go out first. After all, the weather inside was really hard to describe. Okay, I didn't find it again. I found that these gods, especially the gods thousands of years ago, are all riddlers, right? Yihan complained speechlessly. After all, think about it, the special self-ignition energy of the god of fire, the underwater space of the god of water is not the same size, and the territory of the god of earth is not big, and it moves around. Will it be the same as the god of water? In fact, the space inside is not the same size. Bing Haoiu said puzzledly. Zhao Lei on the side said not to be outdone, or like the god of earth, it is constantly changing inside. It shouldn't be, there's wind in this, and if the speed and direction of the wind are changed, it will be very obvious. Yihan denied the doubts of the two without thinking. They were stuck in a deadlock again. With no other options, they could only search a few more times. The search lasted for 4 or 5 days, and they almost turned the whole place upside down, but they didn't find anything. Xiaohan, maybe there is nothing here at all. Yes. This place is very famous in this area. Many soul masters have come here, but it might have been taken away. Zhao Lei also thought that he might have gone in the wrong direction. Just when Yihan was struggling, Feng Xiaoshan and others finished a day of training and walked out. Yihan, what happened to you? Shui Binger asked in confusion. Did anything strange happen inside? Yi asked, thinking that these people might know something. Unfortunately, they didn't find anything. That night, Yihan walked out of the tent in a daze, yawning, it's still night. Huh? Yihan, who was originally dazed, suddenly woke up, his eyes showed a burst of purple, and he stared closely at the Hurricane Canyon. Is the original Hurricane Canyon like this? Although he was confused, Yihan did not rush into the Hurricane Canyon, but waited very patiently, and soon the sky began to lighten slowly. As the sun slowly rose, the entire Hurricane Canyon also became very normal imperceptibly. If Yihan hadn't been watching, he might not have noticed anything. Brother Han, are you up so early? Ben Tiaofeng looked at Yihan, who was sitting on the stone in a daze, greeted him, and walked towards the makeshift toilet. Yihan was a little excited, but after the excitement, he felt sleepy. In line with the people-oriented concept, Yihan decisively went back to the tent and lay down to sleep. He slept until the afternoon and woke up. When he walked out of the tent, he saw Zhao Lei and others who had just returned. Yo, you're awake. Zhao Lei looked at Yihan and said with a smile. You've been there, but you didn't find it again. Yihan said mysteriously. Nonsense. Isn't this obvious? Zhao Lei said disdainfully, if we found it, would we come out so early? But brother discovered a secret here. Yihan showed a mysterious smile, and everyone looked at Yihan for a while. Keep it a secret. You will know at night. Time flies, and soon Taiyuan falls completely. The whole Hurricane Canyon is full of strong winds. Yihan looks at the Hurricane Canyon, which has changed a little, and says very skillfully, we will go in tonight. Esdeath and others also found some changes in the Hurricane Canyon, But they couldn't tell what changed, and they all agreed with Yihan's statement. The Hurricane Canyon at night is completely different from the daytime. As soon as you enter, you can feel the strong wind. During the day, it is intermittent, but at night, the wind is not only strong, but also continuous. This soul power consumption is terrifying, Jaleh said in surprise as he felt the consumption of soul power in his body. Seeing this, Yihan made a quick decision: speed. Hurricane Canyon is not big, take advantage of the time to find out what is different. The group also acted quickly. After all, one is that there is a time limit, and the other is that the soul power here is indeed consumed a lot. Although the scenery along the way does not seem to have changed from the daytime, if you look closely, there are still some, such as the inexplicable bones that appear on the roadside, which are not seen during the day. Fuck. What the hell is this? Jaleh, who was walking in the front, suddenly stopped. Yihan and others also looked forward. Yihan was also shocked. This is unscientific. A tornado can blow up in a small canyon. What should we do now? Jaleh asked speechlessly. Go around? Go back. Yihan looked around and found that there was no possibility of going around. If he was not careful, he would be sucked in. Friends, something is wrong. There seems to be something in the middle of this tornado. Dongtang looked at the people who were thinking and noticed something was wrong with the tornado. Something. Yihan raised his head and looked at the tornado very carefully with his purple magic pupil. A model of a palace was looming in the center of the tornado. Palace? Could it be the palace of the god of wind? Yihan said in horror. No way. This location. Even the usually indifferent Esdeath was speechless in this situation. This was too ridiculous. What should we do? Go back? Yi asked with a frown. Yihan was a little fierce. If he couldn't solve the tornado, what would happen even if he went back? Isn't it the same next time we come in? Directly attack the palace and destroy it. We can still get the symbol of the god of wind. Yihan ordered, and 9 soul rings appeared on Bing Haoyu's body. 9th soul ring, Ice Burial. Jaleh was not polite either, and rushed forward with his ultimate move without hesitation. Yihan was not idle either. Except for Yihan, who was the retreat of everyone else input their soul power into Leah. At present, it seems that the curry stick is indeed the greatest attack power. After all, it is a treasure against the city. As Bing Haoyu and Jaleh's attacks tore a hole in the tornado, Leah swung the curry stick, and a golden light rushed straight into the palace of the god of wind. Crack! A shattering sound rang out, Leah's slash disappeared, the tornado disappeared, and the raging winds of the entire Hurricane Canyon also disappeared, and the silence was frightening. The palace of the god of wind also slowly landed, the door opened, and a very young man walked out, his face gloomy, and his momentum was very terrifying. For a moment, everyone looked at the person in front of them vigilantly. After all, most of those who came out of the palace of the god of wind were the god of wind. Just when the atmosphere between the two sides was about to explode, the young man shouted in displeasure, "Can't you afford to play?" Huh? Yihan was stunned. After holding it in for so long, you said this to me? Is the god of wind as funny as Luo's eye? Can't you afford to play? The young man pointed angrily at the vent on one side. You are urging soul power there, and a mark will rise. Put it in the corresponding position according to the mark, and the tornado will stop. Why don't you use your brain and use force directly? What's the point of designing these things like this? Yihan understood after hearing this, and hesitated for a while. Then let's go out first and do it again tomorrow night. Fuck, you, me. The young man was a little angry, but soon returned to normal. What are you doing here? Why do you want to destroy the temple just because of a disagreement? Don't you know that it is disrespectful to the god of wind? Are you the god of wind? Yihan asked doubtfully. Yes, I am Feng Xing, the current god of wind. Feng Xing said very proudly. Are you still the god of wind now? Yihan was stunned and asked uncertainly. Yes. What's wrong? Feng Xing felt that something was wrong with the script. Should he be excited to see a god? All the soul masters who had seen him before begged him to give them the divine test. These people were too wild. Since they were here to find the god of wind, their first reaction when they saw the palace of the god of wind was not to break through the tornado to enter the palace, but to destroy it. What if the divine test disappeared with it? If he hadn't acted quickly, this palace would have been reduced to ashes. Why did they seem a little disappointed when they heard that he was the god of wind? Chapter 211. Let's get down to business. Wind god. Yihan took a deep look at the wind god in front of him, with some disappointment in his eyes. Unlucky, let's go. Yihan sighed without thinking, turned around and left, without any nostalgia for the wind god. Esdeath and others also packed up with some disappointment, turned around and followed Yihan's steps. I didn't expect it to be this generation of the wind god. Really, it made us waste so much time. Yi said helplessly. Benjo Feng on the side echoed, that's right, I want to finish quickly and go back to study potions and my game. Looking at the group of people talking to themselves, the wind god was really messy in the wind at this moment. What does it mean? Look down on me, the wind god. This can be tolerated, but that is definitely not allowed. The wind blew violently, and Feng Xing appeared in front of Yihan and others. What are you doing? Yihan asked in confusion. Feng Xing rubbed his hands in thought for a while. Don't leave, I can give you a divine test, I am the great wind god. Facing the confident Feng Xing, Yihan asked with a strange look on his face, you should be the thought body, then what is your real body doing in the divine world? Handling affairs. How is it possible? As a great wind god, of course I am free and easy. Feng Xing said as if it was a matter of course. Yihan was stunned, and smiled, let's do something serious. Barbados, oh no, the great wind god. What do you mean? Who is Barbados? Feng Xing looked at Yihan with a puzzled look, hoping to get an explanation. Unfortunately, Yihan had no intention of explaining at all. I am not interested in your divine test at all, I will leave first, you continue to wait for the destined person here. Wait? Looking at Yihan and others who were about to leave again, Feng Xing hurriedly said, then what do you want? Tell me, I will tell you, I am the great wind god. I want the symbol of the wind god. Yihan said playfully. Hey. You said so earlier. You said you didn't want my inheritance, you're really hypocritical. I'll give it to you right now. Feng Xing said happily when he heard it. The emblem of the previous wind god. Click. As Yihan spoke again, Feng Xing froze in place, as if a bolt from the blue hit his head. His face flushed and he looked at Yihan very unhappily. What do you mean? Nothing. I came here because I heard that this was originally the territory of the wind god. I hope to find the emblem of the previous wind god here. The goal is very clear. Yihan explained. What's so good about the previous wind god? Feng Xing said unconvinced. Yihan shrugged, how do I know what's so good about the previous wind god? This was really the truth. He was just looking for a key, how could it involve the previous wind god? You don't know, you want the last one and not mine, I tell you, this is my elaborate design, it is definitely better looking than the last one. Facing Feng Xing who spared no effort to promote his products, Yihan said helplessly, if you hadn't changed the logo of the god of wind, I would have taken it, but you did. Seeing that Feng Xing was about to turn evil, Yihan took out a photo and handed it to Feng Xing, take a look. Feng Xing looked at the photo and soon focused on the stone tablet, damn, this is the god of water, the god of ice, the god of water, the god of earth, the god of thunder, the god of wind from the last session, and what is this remaining? Now you know why I must have the logo of the god of wind from the last session. This is the key to open the ruins, yours is obviously not good enough. Yihan said that it was not that he didn't want yours, but that yours was useless. No wonder Luo Zai asked around for the logos of various gods before, I was wondering why Luo Zai, a salted fish, was so active, it turned out to be because of this, but why didn't I know about this ruins? Feng Xing looked at the photo of the ruins in confusion. That's because this is the work of the previous god. It's normal that you don't know. Yihan waved his hand casually, okay, explain it clearly. We still have to find the symbol of the previous wind god. These old immortals are really good at playing. Why didn't I think of it? No, I have to go and play together. Feng Xing kept thinking, watching Yihan who had already walked away quickly catch up and stop Yihan and others again. Is there anything else? I have the symbol of the previous wind god in my hand, and I can be sure that there will be no other place with this symbol except in my hand. Feng Xing said seriously. Yihan's eyes condensed when he heard it, conditions. There is no good without reason in the world. Since Feng Xing asked, he must hope to get something. Take me into the ruins. I feel like you are making me laugh. How can I take you, a thought body, away? Yihan said speechlessly. A symbol of the god of wind was placed in front of Yihan. Take this. When you go in, just activate it. I can also protect you. Am I not stronger than the two-titled Douluo behind you? Zhao Lei and Bing Haowei looked at the direction Feng Xing pointed and subconsciously dodged to the side. Unfortunately, Feng Xing followed them. Faced with such a situation, Zhao Lei wanted to rush up and teach Feng Xing a lesson, but reason told him that if he rushed, Feng Xing might kneel on the ground and beg him not to die. Okay. But if you can't get out when you get in, it has nothing to do with me. After all, these 7 people have more experience than you. Yihan did not reject Feng Xing following him, but some vaccinations still had to be taken. No problem. Feng Xing said as he threw an old symbol to Yihan. Looking at the symbol that was exactly the same as the one on the stone tablet, his whole heart was still very excited. After all, the moment he obtained this symbol, it meant that he could enter the ruins, but Yihan did not want to go in so quickly. He still had to go to the last place. This is the so-called place where the Thunder God is. This is also Yihan's last stop. Whether he can find a new Thunder God symbol means whether he can prove that this matter is related to the 7 gods of the previous session. Since you have agreed, you can leave. I have something to tell you. Don't ask me to work for the next 3 years, no, the next 30 years. I will give you 30 years to open the ruins, isn't it too much? Yihan was speechless for a while after listening to Feng Xing's shameless words. How did you become so skilled that you can say 30 years? Let's do something serious. Wind God. Although Yihan has not seen other gods, judging from the ice god Luozai and the wind god Feng Xing, are all the gods of this session funny? Think about the previous soul god Lingyi and the water god. Which one is not dignified and majestic? Is this the worst session in the legend? Facing Yihan's strange eyes, Feng Xing always felt that Yihan was thinking something bad, but since Yihan didn't say anything, he didn't know, so he could only turn a blind eye. I'll send you out. The matter of the ruins must have a result within 30 years. After finishing speaking, the whole Hurricane Canyon was raging. Yihan and others only felt that their bodies were out of control and were directly thrown out of the canyon. The Hurricane Canyon instantly returned to normal, as if nothing had happened. It's really a ruthless move. Yihan touched his butt and complained helplessly. The next morning, the refreshed few people said goodbye to Feng Xiaoshan and others and left, leaving Feng Xiaoshan and others confused. Yesterday they said they were going to go in to find something, but they left today? But these are not what they can control. Now Feng Xiaoshan just wants to make his level higher. The most important thing is not to be defeated by Oscar in the future, otherwise if he loses to a food-type Soul Master, Feng Xiaoshan will be infamous for thousands of years. When Feng Xiaoshan thought of the history books that thousands of years later, a mutant martial soul attacking Spirit Master could not beat a food Spirit Master, his whole body trembled. He walked into the Hurricane Canyon quickly. Yu Shai and Heng and others on the side were also very concerned about this and walked into the canyon one after another. Chapter 212 Thunder City. Yihan and others who left Hurricane Canyon did not stop and went straight to the final destination, Thunder Canyon. This place can be said to be quite famous in Douluo Continent. It is not an exaggeration to say that everyone knows it. A large number of soul masters have flocked to it. Of course, this is not the reason why he is famous. There are 2 real reasons for his fame. The first is that there are lightning and thunder in the canyon all year round. But it is only limited to the canyon, and it does not spread or stop. The lightning attack power inside is also extraordinary, which makes a large number of soul masters unanimously believe that there are treasures inside. The second reason is very interesting. A large number of soul masters send their heads in regardless of life and death. The number of deaths is increasing, which always gives people some awe. Until the spirit hall took over here, it was still the spirit hall controlled by Jin's Unji. Jin Daoliu went to the interior of the Thunder Canyon in person, but finally found nothing. After searching the entire Thunder Canyon, there was no good thing except thunder all the time. When this news came out, all soul masters felt that they were deceived by the spirit hall, but the spirit hall was also a ruthless person. It directly opened the Thunder Canyon. Anyone who thought there was a treasure inside could go in and find it. Until a person who had just become a title Douluo went in and never came out again, everyone was scared, even the title Douluo could not come out. Over time, this place became a so-called tourist attraction. Of course, some lightning spirit masters would come here to comprehend the secrets of lightning and see if they could go further. The Thunder City is in front of us, and it is also one of the few cities of the Spirit Hall. Is it really okay for us to go in? Yi handed the collected information to Yihan. To be honest, she was still a little worried. After all, this was the territory of the Spirit Hall, If they went in, it would be like a sheep walking into a tiger's mouth. It's okay. The spirit hall dare not take action for the time being. We just need to be careful. Yuhan was still confident about this. Now Bibi Dong's focus is still on the 7 treasures, Glazed sect of the top, 3 sects and other small sects. I don't plan to follow here. I'm going back to the Heaven Dao Empire. Jin Ringsu looked at the Thunder City that was so close, and said reluctantly. Jin Ringsu always appeared as Zhu King to both the Spirit Hall and the Heaven Dao Empire. The places she went to before were all sparsely populated except for the Bishu City, so she was not afraid of being discovered. Now the Thunder City is the territory of the Spirit Hall. If Bibi Dong saw Jin Ringsu return to her original appearance, it would be inevitable that she would have wild thoughts. If she was Zhu King, it would be even more interesting. The Prince of the Heaven Dao Empire and the Lord of Anil City, Yihan, entered the territory of the Spirit Hall. Oh, the most panicked should be the Xingluo Empire. Yihan also understood Jin Ringsu's mission. Then you go back first. After we solve this, we will notify you first when we go to the far north. Yes. Jin Ringsu got up and got off the carriage, and then turned back. Will you miss me? Yihan. At this moment, Yihan only felt MMP. Even if you want to say this kind of thing, you should tell me secretly. You are so open and above board. Don't you want me to die? Feeling the gazes of several people staring at him, Yihan smiled awkwardly. We are friends. Of course I miss you. Jin Ringsu smiled when she heard this, and turned around and walked into the Thunder City first. However, Jin Ringsu left in a cool way, while Yihan felt endless chill in the carriage. For this situation, Yihan used his unique skill, pretending to be an ostrich. As long as I don't speak, I won't be beaten. Unfortunately, this time Esdeath spoke. I'm very happy. Will you miss me? Ahem. Esdeath, you know, polite, all polite. Yihan laughed dryly. Unfortunately, Esdeath and others had an expression of I believe you, there will be ghosts. Such a weird atmosphere finally disappeared after Yihan and others entered the city. It's not that Esdeath didn't pursue it, but as soon as Yihan and others entered the city, more than a dozen soul saints came to monitor them. Looking at this posture, if Zhao Lei was not there, they would probably take action directly. Thunder City is not far from Wuhan City. Jin Ringsu also sent a letter early to indicate that Yihan would go there, and she would leave there and return to the Xiandao Empire. When Bibi Dong heard the news, she was still very excited. If a large number of ambushes were deployed in Thunder City, it might not be impossible to keep Yihan there. But Bibi Dong was just a little excited, and soon calmed down. The current Yihan is no longer the Yihan who participated in the Advanced Soul Master competition. Holding Anil City and the Mercenary Union, it is one of the 4 major forces. This is already very telling. The final conclusion is, let him go. Don't do anything big, just keep an eye on him. Yihan didn't care about the people who were watching him, and shouted loudly, come out, whoever's hiding over there. The Soul Master who was named was stunned, and pointed at himself in disbelief. Yihan said impatiently, it's you, hurry up, or don't blame me for taking action. Seeing that it was really him, the Soul Master cried and walked to Yihan carefully, Lord Yihan, Your Majesty Yuzio, I'm just following orders, not to harm you. Yihan waved his hand, I know, what I want to say is that we are unfamiliar with this place, please help find a hotel to stay. Facing the Soul Master with a desire to survive, Yihan was a little amused and helpless for a while. When the latter heard that it was such a simple thing, he nodded and agreed. What's your name? I'm Mingshu, a level 78 soul saint. Mingshu said respectfully, who could do anything about it? Yihan was followed by a title Douluo. Do you know Thunder Canyon? Yihan asked bluntly. Mingshu was stunned for a moment, then nodded, I know, the Thunder Canyon is quite famous in this area. After all, there are really few good things in this kind of forbidden place. Is there really nothing? Yihan asked doubtfully. Mingshu could hear that Yihan seemed to be going to enter the Thunder Canyon, which was a big deal. It should be nothing. After all, the Great Priest personally entered and found nothing. That was a 99 level extreme Douluo. As for the others, I don't know. Mingshu really told everything he knew. Yihan didn't say anything more. When he arrived at the hotel, he let Mingshu go. Mingshu also sent this news to Bibi Dong. Bibi Dong's reply was very simple, let him in if he wanted to. Bibi Dong had also been to the Thunder Canyon. The thunder and lightning inside were not simple and powerful, but there was nothing inside, let alone good things. This was the most strange thing. You have to know that generally such dangerous places have more or less treasures. For Yuhan to enter, it's up to him. It doesn't matter if he dies inside. After all, the Thunder Canyon is open all year round, and no soul master is restricted from entering. After having a good meal and a good drink, Yuhan and the others also dispersed. Most of the young people were not very clear about the Thunder Canyon in the hall, but the older generation had a very deep memory. At that time, a large number of soul masters rushed in to die, which was quite shocking. What Yuhan received the most was persuasion, saying that it was best not to go in, and that those who went in over the years had died. However, Yuhan was not afraid. It was not that Yuhan had any confidence, but that as soon as he entered the Thunder City, the golden lightning in the king's treasure kept urging Yuhan to go to the Thunder Canyon. Yuhan was still very confident about the golden lightning that could absorb the thunder tribulation, not to mention that he recently learned that this was the sign of God, which was even more powerful. Chapter 213 Who can withstand this? On the second morning, Yuhan and his companions came to the Thunder Canyon. There were still many soul masters nearby. Some of them came here to stroll around. Others were soul masters with thunder and lightning attributes who came here to comprehend thunder and lightning and see if they could make a breakthrough. Ziohan. Be careful when you go in. If it doesn't work, just come out directly. Yi looked at the thunder and lightning inside and looked at Yuhan with some worry. Don't worry. If it doesn't work, I will withdraw. Yuhan smiled confidently and walked into the Thunder Canyon. Yuhan's move attracted everyone around for a while, and they all looked at Yuhan, who was slowly walking into the sea of thunder in horror. Oh my god. Who is that big guy? He dared to enter the Thunder Canyon. It seems to be Yuhan, the city lord of Anil City. You think even Yuhan went into the Thunder Canyon? Is there really something good in it? You have to be alive to get the good stuff. Yuhan is only a soul emperor. Can he come out after entering? Compared with the pointing of these casual cultivators, the people sent by the spirit hall were truly shocked. I thought Yuhan was just joking, but he really went in. You, go and report to the master of the branch hall and let him inform His Holiness the Pope. The outside became very lively because of Yuhan's shocking move. Especially with Yuhan's identity, everyone was curious whether Yuhan was really confident or was going to die. When Yuhan walked into the Thunder Canyon, he felt the golden lightning in the king's treasure ready to move, and even had the intention of deliberately guiding the lightning. Our first task is to find the sign of lightning. Once we find it, we can absorb the lightning slowly. Yuhan knew that the golden lightning could understand, so he said earnestly. Boom. Feeling a lightning strike on him, although there was no damage, his face was still slightly dark. I tell you, you'd better be honest, otherwise I will put you on the stone tablet as a key. Yuhan's words made the golden lightning tremble, and the lightning around him suddenly calmed down. A voice also appeared in Yuhan's mind. I can feel the sign of lightning in these lightnings. The fastest way is to absorb all of them. This sentence is still very credible. Jin Daoliu came in to search and found nothing, so it is really possible that it is hidden in these lightnings. But if you absorb the lightning here will disappear, and I will break through again. When the spirit hole rushes in, I will die directly. Yuhan said hesitantly. I can control the time of feeding back. The words of the golden lightning appeared in Yuhan's mind again, which was also good news. In that case, then absorb enough. Yuhan laughed. With Yuhan's consent, the lightning around him seemed to gather together, and countless lightnings struck Yuhan desperately, but unfortunately, every lightning was perfectly absorbed by Yuhan. This absorption lasted for more than an hour, and the lightning in the entire Thunder Canyon weakened a lot. This is the frequency of lightning in this Thunder Canyon decreasing. Ming Shu, who was sent by Bibi Dong, said hesitantly. Forget it. This Thunder Canyon is different from moment to moment. It's not certain that thunder clouds will gather directly in a while. You don't really think Yuhan can absorb lightning. Sure enough, after this person finished speaking, a large number of thunder clouds gathered in the Thunder Canyon, and it was very powerful for a while. This situation made some people who wanted to go in with a fluke stop their steps. At this moment, Yuhan looked at the lightning in the sky with a strange expression. Among them, there was a figure, a naked upper body, and a big man with scars on his body slowly descended from the sky. With his appearance, the surrounding lightning became more terrifying, and the golden lightning suddenly quieted down. Little guy. Since you have obtained the divine test of Thunder God, the things here are not yours to touch. Get out. The big man's voice was very calm, but it was unquestionable. Yihan would not miss this good opportunity, and said with some interest, I don't have the god test of Thunder God, and you should be the last god of thunder. Hearing this, Thunder God frowned, and a thunder and lightning suddenly spread out from the big man to the surroundings. Yihan wanted to resist, but in just a moment, the thunder and lightning energy passed through him. Interesting? The sign of the god test that produces autonomous consciousness. Thunder God just glanced at Yihan, and the golden lightning in his body trembled wildly. Yihan could even feel that he was urging him to run away quickly. Since you can see his origin, then you should know the purpose of my coming here. Yihan spoke directly. He didn't believe that this Thunder God could see the golden lightning in his body, but not the other keys. Thunder God walked towards Yihan. With every step of Thunder God, the surrounding thunder and lightning seemed to dissipate a little. Little guy, tell me how to get this golden lightning. If I am satisfied, everything here is yours. Yihan was stunned. He didn't expect Thunder God to ask this. He originally thought he was going to fight. After all, Thunder God's face was more aggressive than the Soul God Ling Yi. I got it when I blocked the last blow of the 600,000-year thunder tribulation. Yihan had nothing to hide about this. Lei Shen was stunned for a moment, then laughed and said, interesting, really interesting, but now there are 600,000-year-old soul beasts. But how did you stop the divine test? When Yihan heard this, several halos suddenly appeared behind him, and the heaven's chain appeared and entangled Lei Shen. The latter did not resist, and even said that he was very curious. This chain. Lei Shen, who had not paid attention to it at first, shrank his pupils. He could feel that with his strength, he could not break free at all, and the more he struggled, the tighter it became. The heaven's chain, against the divine treasure, against the divine enemy, it will produce a special attack. If you are not a god, you may be able to break free directly with a little effort, but as long as you are a god, it is very difficult to unlock the heaven's chain. Yihan explained a little, and slowly put away the heaven's chain. There is one last question, why does this golden lightning obey you so much? Lei Shen looked at Yihan very seriously. If the heaven's chain can restrict the divine test, it will never make a symbol of a god succumb. Yihan didn't know how to answer for a moment. Well, if you want to know, you can go with me into the king's treasure. There are many things I can't take out. Thor suddenly became interested and put a hand on Yihan's shoulder. Seeing this, Yihan didn't hesitate. The two entered the king's treasure. Yihan skipped the previous treasures and came to the end. It must be said that Thor trembled when he came here. The 1,000 years of self-restraint instantly turned into a sentence, fuck. A large number of anti-god treasures, even many of which have really killed gods, made Thor very uncomfortable with the slightest breath on them. At this moment, Thor understood why a Thor's mark would succumb. He originally thought that the guy he inherited was a waste. Now it seems that it's not that the Thor's mark is too waste, but that this place is too terrifying. Let alone a Thor's mark, even if he himself is here, he dare not move. To be honest, when he came here, Thor could feel that every weapon above was his life. Who can stand this? Ahem. You are very good. I have finished asking questions. Here is what you want. After coming to his senses, the Thunder God handed a golden lightning bolt to Yihan. Also, I want to remind you that you must get the things in the 4th room of the ruins. If you can't get the others, forget it. It's not a big deal. Also, my name is Lei Yu. I have reserved some energy for the little guy in your body to evolve. After saying that, the Thunder God Lei Yu disappeared, leaving only thunder and lightning in the sky. Chapter 214 I'll run away after pretending. After the Thunder God Lei Yu left, Yihan sat down cross-legged quietly, preparing to absorb the lightning quietly. The golden lightning in his body was also very excited. He could feel that as long as he absorbed it cleanly, he would definitely evolve and become an individual. Without the interruption of the Thunder God, Yihan absorbed it steadily. Time passed slowly, and soon it was afternoon. However, the number of soul masters in the Thunder Canyon did not decrease, but increased. After all, everyone was curious whether Yihan could come out alive. Bibi Dong, who got the news in the morning, was also very concerned about Yihan's life, but she just asked Ming Shu to monitor and tell her the final result. Boom. A golden lightning fell from the sky, not to mention Yihan was caught off guard, even the soul masters outside were shocked. You know, this is the first time that golden lightning has appeared since the Thunder Canyon appeared. What is this? Why is there golden lightning? Is there something in the Thunder Canyon? Mingshu did not dare to hesitate and quickly told the situation to the Wuhan Hall branch. The head of the branch hall also understood very well that this matter must be serious, and quickly handed over all the information to Bibi Dong without missing a word. Golden lightning? This matter is indeed not simple. Bibi Dong had a headache. Although she could guess that Yihan's purpose was not simple, Yihan always did some incredible things. For example, now that the Thunder Canyon, which had been deemed worthless, had really experienced an accident, ask the people from the worship hall to check the situation. If it is a treasure, hold it back. I will bring the people from the spirit hall later. But, Your Holiness, the people from the worship hall don't listen to us at all, and Yihan has a jade flute Douluo. The Knight Templar said hesitantly. Bibi Dong also had a headache. She only had Chrysanthemum Douluo and Ghost Douluo, but Ghost Douluo and Golden Douluo were in charge of the ruins in the far north, and Chrysanthemum Douluo was in seclusion to absorb the Kirin Tongshan Chrysanthemum. Only the people from the worship hall were left. Since Jin Daoliu died, the worship hall belonged to Jin Ringsu. However, Jin Ringsu obviously did not get along with her, so it was basically impossible to transfer the worship hall. However, as the saying goes, there are countermeasures for every policy. Bibi Dong has much more experience than Jin Ringsu. Tell those titled Douluo in the worship hall that the Thunder Canyon has the inheritance of the Thunder God. They will not refuse. Jin Ringsu is just a soul saint. The worship hall did not take action before because of Jin Daoliu and Jin Yi, but Jin Daoliu is dead and Jin Yi is gone. Bibi Dong does not believe that these titled Douluo will listen to Jin Ringsu. In the face of absolute interests, the so-called relationship is not worth mentioning. On the other side, Yihan knew that it was not good when he saw the golden lightning. After all, this place is the territory of the spirit hall. Isn't it courting death to be so arrogant? How long will it take? Yihan asked anxiously. 10 minutes. A voice slowly appeared in Yihan's mind. After estimating the time, Yihan directly opened the guild group. Yihan, everyone has got their stuff. Prepare to evacuate in 10 minutes. Xiao Feng, you guys get ready and go back to the city. Hanzhou Feng, got it, Brother Han, how far are you from the door? Is 8 seconds enough? Yihan, almost. I guess the spirit hall has already dispatched people, but I don't know how many people have been dispatched. Just as Yihan was explaining the evacuation, there was already a commotion outside. Don't you think there are really treasures in here? Isn't it obvious? Look at the golden lightning around. When have you ever seen this? Yihan must have found something good. As expected of Yihan from Enel City. I heard that he got the treasure of the god of water some time ago. I'm really envious. Just as the soul masters and civilians were extremely excited, a large number of Templar knights surrounded them. All idle people, please retreat. Those who disobey the order will be executed. Mingshu just received the order to drive away all those who can be driven away. Those who cannot be driven away, forget it, but Yihan and others must be held back. The spirit hall has already been dispatched. Yi looked at the Templar knights who were driving people away solemnly. Do you want to muddy the water? No title Douluo has come, it should be just some Templar knights clearing the area, let's not rush to act. Jalei said slowly. So far, only some people in Anil City know about Bing Haoiu's existence. If the spirit hall knew that there was an extreme Douluo here, they would definitely not come. Although Mingshu cleared the area quickly along the way, he still smiled politely when he passed by Esdeath and others. After all, anyone with a discerning eye would know that the spirit hall was not here with good intentions. But Mingshu and his men couldn't afford to offend the title Douluo. If Zhao Lei got angry, he would definitely kill everyone here. Bang! Just when most of the soul masters had almost left, several figures fell from the sky. The aura on each of them was not concealed at all, and the 9 soul rings all showed the strength of the title Douluo. 18 title Douluo. Zhao Lei's face was solemn. Why are there so many? Is the spirit hall going to fight us? In fact, Bibi Dong did not expect that the temptation of the god test was so great. There were 24 title Douluo in the worship hall. Except for the giant Douluo who went out, only 5 title Douluo recruited by Jin Ringsu remained. The others all went. But it's good this way. If we can take this opportunity to kill Yihan, it would be great. What about their strength? Esdeath asked quietly. There are 2 level 97, and the rest range from level 92 to level 96. Overall, they are not very strong, but I'm afraid they will delay us, catch you, or go in to find Xiaohan. Zhao Lei said worriedly. Then kill them. Bing Haoyu's eyes were cold. Although he was a submissive extreme Douluo to Yuhan, he was a good friend who ate, drank, hoarded and gambled in front of Zhao Lei. But don't forget some things. Bing Haoyu became a level 98 title Douluo by himself, and then accepted the god test to become a level 99 extreme Douluo. When he chose to attack the Snow Emperor and the Ice Emperor directly, it was clear that Bing Haoyu was arrogant. If you want to pass the divine test, hold Zhao Lei back. For the others, you can grab one of the title Douluo if you can, and hold him back if you can't. Everyone else, go into the Thunder Canyon and grab Yuhan. Bibi Dong, who had arrived at some point, said loudly. The people in the worship hall looked at each other and took action. 2 level 97 people went directly to Zhao Lei, and the other title Douluos also moved. However, at this moment, a nice knife directly cut through the sky. The head of the level 93 title Douluo who found Bing Haoyu had been separated from his body. In fact, Bing Haoyu's body had completely exploded. The 9 spirit rings were not the key. The real key was that the people in the worship hall were too familiar with this aura. Level 99 Extreme Douluo. Since Anil City has a level 99 Extreme Douluo. For a moment, everyone was facing a great enemy. After all, it was no joke that Jin Daolia suppressed the entire worship hall alone. Either get out or die. Bing Haoyu looked at Bibi Dong indifferently. The soul power on his body was full of pressure, which shocked several title Douluo to retreat frequently. Bibi Dong looked ugly. He really didn't expect that besides Zhao Lei, there was another unknown extreme Douluo. I will contain Zhao Lei, you stop this extreme Douluo and entangle him. All the Templars catch the people behind them. Bibi Dong shouted sternly. The current situation is that the arrow is on the string and has to be shot, but there is also a chance of winning. Taking the hostage will definitely make Bing Haoyu and Zhao Lei afraid to act rashly. These title Douluos who are restrained want to mess around, but Bing Haoyu doesn't want to. He now wants to vent all the anger he has endured during this period. He can't handle Yuhan, but can't he handle several title Douluos of level 90? He wants to tell Yuhan that I, Bing Haoyu, am not a tool man who can only cool down. The ultimate ice exploded directly, and the 9th soul skill was directly lit up. 9th soul skill, Ice Burial. These title Douluo who were restraining him did not expect Bing Haoyu to be so wild. He started with a big move. In just a moment, 2 low-level ones died directly, and 3 or 4 were seriously injured and lost their combat effectiveness. At this moment, Ben Xiaofeng saw the message in the group. A blue light column flashed in the sky. Bibi Dong was too familiar with such a light column. Stop them quickly. Bibi Dong was anxious. They were going to run. If they were allowed to run, then the title Douluo of the worship hall would not have died in vain today. At that time, her control over the worship hall would be even weaker. Although the Templar Knights were numerous, Esdeath and others were not vegetarians. For a while, the Templar Knights had no way to enter Ben Xiaofeng's side to interrupt. Just when the entire teleportation array reached the last 2 seconds, Yi Han's figure flashed and appeared in the teleportation array. The Thunder Canyon behind him had cleared up, and there was no sound of thunder and lightning. Yi Han glanced around the battlefield and knew the situation was similar. He smiled proudly and said, "Thank you, Your Holiness, for your help. I will take my leave now." Zhao Lei and Bing Haoyu fought off their opponents and quickly entered the teleportation array. The next second, Yuhan and the others disappeared from the spot, leaving only a devastated battlefield. Chapter 215, 8 years in Zuan, my parents are still alive. Yuhan did another big thing, and it can even be said that he did it in front of everyone. Many people say that Yuhan has passed the test of the Thunder God. This time, Yuhan does not intend to avoid this question. He came out to explain when he was with the Water God because he was still collecting keys at that time. Now that he has all 7 keys in his hands, what is he afraid of? No matter how the whole continent spreads rumors, Yuhan still stands still. You can say whatever you want. What I do is my business. With the passing of half a year, Yuhan has been absorbing the soul power obtained from the Thunder Canyon. Although it is very tiring, the effect is also remarkable. Half a year of sleepless nights allowed him to completely absorb the soul power fed back by the golden lightning, and his level has reached level 72. In Yuhan's view, entering the Soul Saint is the real stage of Douluo Continent, and the proportion of martial soul true body in Douluo Continent is still relatively large. It has been 4 years since the Advanced Soul Master competition. While Tang San is still in the Slaughter City, let's prepare and go to the ruins of the far north. Yihan touched his chin and calculated the time. The main reason why they waited until now to set off was to wait for everyone to reach the level of Soul Saint, which would be safer. As for why they had to take advantage of Tang San's absence, it was actually very simple. After all, Tang San was still the son of destiny of Douluo Continent. Yihan could not guarantee who would get the biggest benefit in the end if Tang San went in with him. In order to ensure the safest situation, Yihan prepared to give Tang San a time difference. During this year, everyone was staring at Anil City, especially the Spirit Hall, who almost sent someone to follow Yihan. As Yihan walked out of Anil City without any disguise, all the major forces stared at Yihan, fearing that Yihan would take away some inheritance of God in their territory. You have to know that if you count them carefully, the Water God of Bishu City in Xingluo Empire, the Thunder God of Thunder City in Spirit Hall, and the Fire God in the southernmost part of Xiandao Empire have no idea. This time, Yihan's goal is very clear, which is the extreme north, Moan City. Such an obvious route immediately made everyone stare at the so-called ruins. When mentioning the ruins here, it must be said that 3 years have passed since they appeared, but no matter how the major forces try, they cannot open it. The last solution was to leave it alone. Coupled with the commotion caused by Yihan, the ruins here were neglected. But with Yihan's destination this time, the major forces have started to think about the ruins again. Yihan, long time no see. When he arrived at Moan City, the first person he met was Zhu King, who was standing at the city gate waiting early. Yihan also said politely, "King, I haven't seen you for many days. I miss you very much. Are you still in charge of this place?" The two of them were talking and laughing, but Yihan felt that Tang San was pinching his waist, and he secretly groaned in his heart. Originally, Tang San and the others didn't know that Zhu King was Jin Ringsu and didn't care. But since Jin Ringsu left last time, I don't know if it was intentional, but she deliberately revealed that she was Zhu King. "I have handed over this place to my fourth brother." Jin Ringsu calmly brought Zhu Avalanche, who was pretending to be an ostrich, over. Seeing this, the latter couldn't pretend to be an ostrich anymore. "Hello, City Lord Yihan." "Hello." Yihan smiled and returned the greeting. Zhu Bang was really frightened at this moment. In fact, since Jin Ringsu proposed to Emperor Zhu that Zhu Bang take over here, Zhu Bang has not had a good sleep. Zhu Bang always felt that Jin Ringsu was going to take action against him. It would be a lie to say that he was not panicking. Both of his brothers above were played to death, how could he not panic? But he kept waiting and waiting, but Jin Ringsu did not make a move. Zhu Bang was relieved a little, thinking that he was overthinking it, and then Jin Ringsu came back. Originally, Zhu Bang was ready to hand over the power and leave, but Jin Ringsu directly told Zhu Bang that it was not necessary, and he was still in charge of this place. This scared Zhu Bang again. If Yihan and Jin Ringsu knew Zhu Bang's psychological journey, they would definitely laugh. Now Jin Ringsu no longer intends to be the emperor of the Xiandao Empire, so naturally there is no need to eliminate dissidents, but unfortunately Zhu Bang doesn't think so. "Let's go directly to the ruins," Yihan said with a smile without intending to delay time. Jin Ringsu nodded and looked at Zhu Bang on the side. "Fourth brother, gather the nearby troops and clear the route." "Ah." Zhu Bang woke up as if from a dream, and looked at his unhappy elder brother, trembling. "I know, right away, right away." With the Xiandao Empire leading the way, Yihan and his party soon arrived at the gate of the ruins again. No one needed to notify them, the people from the Spirit Hall and the Xingluo Empire were waiting for Yihan very skillfully. "Isn't this Yihan? Did you find a way to open the ruins? Did you get it from the Thunder Canyon of my Spirit Hall? Or did you get it from the Water God of the Xingluo Empire?" Yu Guan, who came out of retreat, was in high spirits at this moment. Absorbing the Kirin Tong Xianzhu allowed his spirit to evolve directly, and his strength surpassed that of Ghost Douluo and reached the 97th level of Title Douluo. This is not an easy thing. After all, every level up of Title Douluo after level 95 is a qualitative change, so it is understandable that he is a little arrogant now. Yu Guan deliberately mentioned the Thunder Canyon and the Water God, implying that Yihan could only take things from other people's territories, and also to arouse the dissatisfaction of the Xingluo Empire with Yihan. This mentality is actually common to everyone. No matter whether he has not discovered it himself or not, as long as good things are found on his territory, he will definitely be unhappy if others take them away. Yuhan just smiled at this. As long as Yu Guan absorbed the Kirin Tong Xianju, his life no longer belonged to him. The Thunder Canyon and the Blue Water Lake existed before I was born. What a pity. I let you have them for 17 years, but in the end I got the treasures. Don't you think I'm angry? As soon as these words came out, let alone the people of the Xingluo Empire and the Spirit Hall, even Zhu Bang on the side felt that he had a cerebral hemorrhage, and was also glad that the Xiandao Empire was not robbed of anything. But it's a pity that Yuhan took it away, but they didn't know it. Yu Guan was a little angry, but looking at Zhao Lei and Bing Haoyu who took a step forward, Yu Guan was scared. Zhao Lei is a level 98 titled Douluo, and Bing Haoyu fought in Thunder City. He is one of the few level 99 extreme Daluos in the world. Is he kidding? Just like I gave the ruins to you now, right? What's the result? It's been 3 years, and the door of the ruins can't be opened. Even a key can't be opened. What kind of thing is this? Now I have to do it myself. When I take the treasure away, you will blame me again. Yuhan said sarcastically. In addition to the lazy Xiandao Empire, Daimyo Bei and Yu Guan were a little unhappy. After all, the method he used did not even light up a beam of light. Open it if you have the ability. Don't show off your power of words here. Jinni Douluo said very maturely. However, as someone who has lived in Zuan for 8 years and whose parents are still alive, Yuhan is not in a good mood. It's so funny. I do have a way to open it when I came here, but why should I help you open it? What did I expect you to open it? We in Annal City only go in once, and we don't need to be the first batch. You Wuhan Hall are now making a fortune, right? I open it and you can enter at will. Jiang Daluo's face was also rather ugly at this moment, but he had to hold it back now. Yuhan wanted to say something but Jin Ringsu pulled his sleeve. Yuhan turned his head and looked at Jin Ringsu, who shook her head with a hint of pleading in her eyes. Jiang Daluo can be said to be the only person who supported Jin Ringsu after Jin Daoliu died. It was also because of Jiang Daluo that Jin Ringsu could barely maintain the Hall of Worship. Yuhan still had to give this face, and no longer looked at Jiang Daoluo. Tell me, what benefits can you give me so that I can take you in? For a moment, several major forces looked at each other and were speechless. No way. No way. No way someone is really going to get something for nothing. Yuhan opened the map cannon wantonly, and wherever he looked was the range of his cannon. Haha. We'll wait to hear, if you have the guts, don't open it. Yu Guan said somewhat shamelessly. For a while, the other forces did not speak, and the meaning was also very clear. Just like Yu Guan, Yuhan did not care about it, and if he could give them something, he would give them something, and if he could not give them anything, it was just to disgust them. Chapter 216, Ban? Seeing a group of people gathered here, Yuhan laughed. Let's go. After saying that, he turned around and left, leaving a large group of people in the wind. As for Yuhan and others, they went back to sleep. In order to disgust them, Yuhan sometimes went out for a walk at night and in the early morning. Anyway, he went to the ruins for a walk. The major forces are really exhausted now. After all, Yuhan is the key to opening the ruins, and they must keep an eye on Yuhan. Yuhan also understood this, so he took them around. This lasted for a month. Yuhan had enough fun, and Yi and others had enough fun too. The group finally stood in front of the stone tablet. Haha. In the end, it's still open. Yu Guan said with dark circles under his eyes. Esdeath, who was about to walk towards the stone tablet, turned around and walked back. Oh. Suddenly I don't want to open it anymore. It's all because of a chrysanthemum monster talking on the side. As soon as this was said, everyone glared at Yu Guan. This month, Yuhan had made everyone restless. It was not easy to see the opportunity. If Yu Guan ran away with a word, they would be furious. Friend Yuhan, Yu Guan did it unintentionally. I'm sorry. Jinni Daoluo apologized, but his face was expressionless. Yuhan just shrugged his shoulders. Esdeath walked to the stone tablet again and began to condense the key. To be honest, Yuhan had no intention of taking out the symbol of God. Anyway, he could use it, so why would he use it? Haha. It's still a manufacturing process. It failed last time, but it will succeed this time. Yu Guan said unconvinced. Guime looked at Bing Haoyu and turned his head to look here, and his body trembled. Yu Guan, be quiet. 7 ice keys were made in a row. As Yuhan put in the first ice flower, a nice blue light column appeared in the sky, and then lightning was put in. which produced a golden light column. Every time one was put in, it was a light column. After putting in 6 in a row, only the last symbol of the soul god was left. Yihan looked around with interest. Everyone looked at Yihan nervously. After all, this was the first time they approached the door of the ruins and opened it. Yihan put in the last key, and the light columns disappeared. Suddenly, a light curtain appeared at the door, with words written on it. The key used this time is not a real key, it is a temporary opening. Up to 10 people can enter, and the person who opens it will choose the candidate. Looking at the content of the light curtain, Yihan laughed, and the other forces exploded. Oh. I didn't expect it to be like this. Yihan pointed at the light curtain playfully. There are 9 of us, and there is still 1 quota. Who do you want to give it to? You can put forward any conditions, and our Douluo Empire will definitely agree. Daimyo made a prompt decision. You must know that the current situation is very special. I thought it was open before, and I didn't expect there would be such a thing as a temporary opening. In fact, Yihan didn't expect it. Seeing this, Jinni Douluo's face was not very good, but he still said with a stiff upper lip, if Yihan brings people from the Spirit Hall, the grievances between the Spirit Hall and Anal City will be wiped out. Master Yihan, choose me. Our Tiger Leopard sect is willing to join Anal City. The leader of the Tiger Leopard sect said loudly. For a while, everyone who was unwilling to pay any price before, at this moment, can be said to have taken out everything they had kept in their bottom boxes. Haha. Interesting. But it's a pity that I won't choose either. I asked you to give it to me before, but you didn't want to. Now I don't want to either. For the last spot, I'll take my good brother. Yihan put his arm around Jinrinksu's shoulders very skillfully. Yihan had already made up his mind when the prompt appeared. There were people with bad intentions here, so it's better to take Jinrinksu with him. The reason why I said so much before was to disgust them. After the selection, the group of 10 people disappeared, and the gate of the ruins was closed again. Some people wanted to rush in, but they turned into ashes in an instant. As Yihan and others left, some people regretted and some were unwilling. If I had known earlier, I should have given Yihan some benefits. Daimyo said angrily. Zhu's Huking was open-minded. Forget it, there will be another chance next time. Compared with the Douluo Empire, which was furious, the Spirit Hall and the Xiandao Empire were very happy. The Xiandao Empire believed that its eldest prince had entered. The Spirit Hall knew that Jinrinksu belonged to the Spirit Hall. On the other side, Yihan and others who entered the ruins only felt a flash before their eyes, and then they appeared inside. The nearby buildings were very simple and quaint, with countless rooms one after another. Let Fengxing out first. Yihan did not forget what he promised to the God of Wind. He took out the symbol of the God of Wind and activated it. Then a thought body slowly appeared. The speed is good. It's only been more than a year, and you've come in. Fengxing looked at the ruins and said excitedly. But the next moment, an indescribable pressure suddenly pressed on Fengxing. Fuck, what the hell? A figure slowly appeared, also a thought body. Yihan also recognized it. It was the God of Souls Ling Yi. Boy, this is not a place you can come. Go back to the God realm. What do you mean? I'm the God of Wind. Fengxing is also a proud person, looking at Ling Yi with an ugly face. If you don't accept my toast, you'll be punished. Seeing Ling Yi about to take action, another voice slowly sounded, go back. Fengxing's body stiffened. Although 1,000 years had passed, the voice was still imprinted in his mind. He looked in another direction with some disbelief. Senior, where have you been all these years? Yihan and others also looked in that direction curiously. A serious man walked out, with a breeze on his body. It was obvious that he was the last wind god. Facing Fengxing, who broke his skill in a second, Yihan and others twitched slightly at the corners of their mouths. The last wind god also looked at Fengxing, who was hugging his thigh with a black face. Your current term is not good. Even the symbol of the wind god has been changed. Ling Yi also put away his momentum when he saw this. Get out. This kind of thing is changed casually, and it's just like Fengxing changed it. Isn't your soul god's symbol also changed? The wind god said unceremoniously. Am I not the worst? Since the little guys don't go to find my ice god's symbol. A resentful voice slowly came. The woman was very pretty, even charming, but unfortunately, the surroundings were constantly emitting cold air. Listening to the woman's words, Yihan knew her identity. It was the last ice god they had not been looking for. Well, this beautiful sister, It's not that we don't want to find her, it's just that the far north is too big, and the difference from 1,000 years ago is too big. There is no way to start. Don't blame you, it's all because of Luo's eyes in action. I asked her to build a palace to put the sign I left behind, but this girl built a temple for herself and ran away. The ice god said helplessly. Don't talk nonsense, you can go now, don't get involved in the things here. Ling Yi looked at Feng Xing, who still wanted to reminisce, and said coldly. Feng Xing wanted to say something, but he saw that in addition to his predecessor, 6 pairs of eyes with ill intentions were looking at him. Go. Can't we just go? It's so annoying. Feng Xing made a face and disappeared. The things in the ruins are restricted. Whether you can get them depends on your own ability. Ling Yi said coldly. Come on. Sister is optimistic about you. The ice god encouraged. These thought bodies disappeared, and Yuhan had a strange look on his face. Restrictions? In Douluo Continent, he was least afraid of restrictions. Taking out the magic-breaking red rose, Yuhan showed a lewd smile. Then this ruins must be emptied for you. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 217. These gods are too cowardly. As the thought body of the god disappeared, Yuhan and others began to look around. Thunder God once told me that I must get the things in the 4th room, but I don't know whether it is the 4th from the top or the 4th from the bottom. Yuhan said with a headache as he looked at the large number of rooms. Yi smiled and said, it doesn't matter. Anyway, there are only 10 of us here. We can just go one by one. That's right, and I think these gouts probably didn't expect the power of the weapon in your hand. Leah looked at the red rose in Yuhan's hand and said meaningfully. In that case, the 1st room. Yuhan and others walked towards the 1st room. The room here had no door at all, but the scene inside could not be seen. Bang! Zhao Lei wanted to go in, but was bounced back. Yuhan wanted to use the red rose to open the restriction, but Zhao Lei raised his hand. Wait, I am a level 98 title Douluo, am I afraid of him? If you are not here, is there no way to open it? Zhao Lei, who was unconvinced, opened his 9 soul rings, and his martial soul true body was directly triggered and hit the restriction hard, breaking the restriction layer by layer, and then disappeared. Haha. See? I'm still very powerful. Zhao Lei said triumphantly as he looked at the band that had disappeared. However, all this was under the observation of the 7 gods. Ling Yi could only say that this behavior was brave but not wise. The first few can be opened with this, which is nothing, but the latter ones won't be so easy. The earth god touched his beard and smiled faintly. I believe in Yihan. Thunder god Lei Yu said calmly. Everyone looked at Lei Yu in surprise. You know, this big man originally ignored everyone and didn't obey anyone. Since he would stand on Yihan's side? Lei Yu didn't explain much about this, but Lei Yu believed that Yihan, who had so many god-killing weapons, would not have a problem with just a few bands. In the ruins, Yihan and his group walked into the room. The whole room was not big, or even very small, and there was only a jade box in it. Yuhan observed the surroundings and made sure there was no danger. He walked around the jade box, reached out and picked up the jade box, and slowly opened it under the expectant eyes of everyone. So flashing. Dongtang was the closest, and felt a ray of golden light. He couldn't help but cover his eyes. Yihan was also quite excited. What is this? The jade box was completely opened, and a card shining with golden light stopped in the middle, which looked very strange. Identification. Almost subconsciously, Yihan and others used identification unconsciously. Shining gold card, a symbol of identity, a coin from 1,000 years ago, is no longer used now, and is converted into about 100 million gold soul coins with current gold soul coins. Vulgar. Too vulgar. Yihan really didn't expect that the 7 gods would put something as vulgar as gold soul coins. The corners of Esdeath and others' mouths twitched slightly. They thought it was a good thing when they saw the shining golden light before. It turned out to be money, and it was money that could not be used. What is this? Jin Ringsu asked with some doubts, and Zhao Lei and Bing Haoi on the side also looked at Yuhan with doubts. After all, they didn't identify it. Money. Money? Gold soul coins. Zhao Lei exclaimed. That's right. That's really useless. Jin Ringsu said speechlessly. Zhale and Bing Haoai looked at each other and said unhappily, "Who said it's useless? Gold soul coins are good things. If you don't want them, why don't you give them to us?" Yuhan also knew the nature of the two and handed the gold card to Zhale, who held it in his hand excitedly. "How much is this?" "About 100 million gold soul coins." After Yuhan finished speaking, Zhale and Bing Haoai quickly put the gold card into their arms and looked around vigilantly. I have never seen so much money in my life," Bing Haoai said tremblingly. "Listen to me, but this currency is from 1,000 years ago and can no longer be used," Yuhan said playfully. Click. The excited Bing Haoai and Zhao seemed to be frozen at this moment, motionless, and their eyes were a little distracted. Hey. Not really," Ben Tiaofeng said with a smile. "Uncle Zhao, Grandpa Bing, don't worry, when we get out, we'll sell them at the auction. Things related to gods may sell for more than 100 million gold soul coins." After hearing Ben Tiaofeng's words, Zhale and Bing Haoai's souls returned, and they had hope again. At this moment, the seven gods also started a heated discussion. What's the use of putting money?" The water god asked a little coldly. "Who prepared the first room? What's wrong with putting money?" The fire god said unhappily, "Don't you know that with money you can travel the world, but without money you can't take a single step?" After hearing what the fire god said, everyone knew who put the money in the first room. The earth god also smiled. "It's okay to put money, after all, it's the first room. You didn't put anything else weird, did you?" The wind god suddenly asked. For a moment, except for the soul god Ling Yi, the eyes of other gods were a little unnatural, and the wind god breathed a sigh of relief. "Fortunately, there's more than me." On the other side, Yuhan had already come to the second room and opened the jade box. There was still a card inside. For some reason, Yuhan felt that this card was not as good as the gold card in the first room. Appraisal. The autograph of the water god, very collectible. Fuck. Yuhan looked at the two words Linzai on it, and was left with a confused face. After only 2 seconds, Yuhan handed the card to Zhao with an expressionless face. "Go back and sell it. This thing will definitely sell well." "Ha ha ha. Linzai, since you put your own autograph. You are really a genius." The ice god mocked unceremoniously, and the whole person laughed so hard that he fell forward and backward. The water god Linzai blushed slightly, and said a little unnaturally, "How many people wanted my autograph back then and couldn't get it, and these little guys got it and want to sell it? After seeing yours, I feel that what I put is not too outrageous." The wind god said with some relief. "If you say one more word, I promise you won't see tomorrow's sun," Linzai said with an unpleasant expression. Feng Shen quickly understood, made a gesture to shut up, and stopped talking. "It's the third room, Xiaoxu, you open it. I'm afraid I can't stand it." Yuhan now has a feeling of drawing cards in his previous life. And now the chance is 10 times higher, and drawing 2 pieces of garbage really makes Yuhan doubt his luck. The jade box in the third room was opened, and a very beautiful cake was placed in the crystal clear box, with a small card attached to the side. "This is the most delicious cake in our time. It's hard to buy, but I decided to put it in with great difficulty. I used my divine power to preserve the cake. It won't go bad." Jin Rinxu really didn't know what to say for a while, and Yihan's mood became much better for a while. Although his previous ones were also garbage, they could still be sold for some money. But Jin Rinxu's luck can be said to have made Yihan regain his confidence. "It's not that I'm unlucky, but that these gods are too cowardly. Liu, you still have the nerve to laugh at me. Put the cake in." Linzai seemed to have found an outlet for venting, and looked at the ice god Liu on the side with great pride. "Well, it may not be mine," Liu said with a wondering look. "Haha. Besides you, who else would put the cake here? Could it be Ling Yi?" Linzai's words made everyone look at Ling Yi for a while, and everyone's mind was the always indifferent Ling Yi, eating the cake with a satisfied look. It has to be said that the sense of the picture is too strong, and some people can't stand it. Ling Yi also has a black line on his face. "Stop your imagination, otherwise, I'm afraid I will hang you up." Okay, you don't know how much courage I put in to put the cake in," Liu said a little excitedly. Everyone can only be speechless about Liu's words, but only Liu herself knows how big a thing it is to sacrifice a piece of cake for a foodie. Chapter 218. This is his home. Yuhan and his group had given up hope for this relic, but standing at the door of the fourth room, Yuhan was still a little excited. After all, This was one of the few places that might contain good things. Get ready to go in, Yuhan said, and Xiaolei released his soul power to break the restriction, but the next moment the soul power penetrated the restriction. Xiaolei looked at the restriction with a confused face. Hit nothing. Seeing this, Yuhan's eyes flashed. He felt that there was something good inside, and the red rose stabbed directly at the restriction, but since the red rose passed through, it proved that there was no restriction at all. Yuhan, who had figured it out, walked in directly, followed by Esdeath, Yi and others. Bang! Ouch! Jin Ringsu touched her head, looking at Yuhan and others who had entered with a speechless face, and wanted to go in again, but was blocked outside the door again. Haha! You can't get in. Bang! Damn! Why? Xiaolei originally wanted to laugh at Jin Ringsu, but now he didn't go in either, which was outrageous. I think this is the reason. Bing Hao pointed to the small words on one side. Those who have been endowed with divine tests or divine power are not allowed to enter. The requirements are very simple. Basically, anyone on Douluo Continent cannot meet this condition, but the three people who are looking at each other outside the door have achieved it perfectly. Jin Ringsu's Angel God Divine Test, Bing Haoyu's Ice God Divine Test, and Xiaolei who absorbed Jin Daoliu's 6 soul bones with divine power. Yuhan and others who entered the room saw 7 statues. According to their memories, although there was a component of beauty, they should correspond to the 7 gods. Each god had a group of unknown energy in his hand. When encountering something unfamiliar, of course, they would directly identify it. Divine power without any impurities. Just as Yuhan and others approached, the energy in the hands of Lingai, the soul god on the right, flew directly into Yi's body, followed by Liu Yu's into Esdeath's body. Other energies also entered the bodies of several other people. The sudden change made Yuhan stunned. He checked his body with some vigilance, but there was nothing else in his body except the extra divine power. As the divine power disappeared, a light curtain appeared in front of everyone. Don't worry about the divine test. This is the purest divine power that each of us has condensed. The divine world is too peaceful now. No new gods have appeared for tens of millions of years. I hope you can rely on these divine powers to enter the divine world, instead of inheriting the throne. Yuhan was still a little surprised after reading these words. What's the purpose? Is it just to allow new gods to appear in the divine world? No matter what else, at least this thing is harmless at present. Dongtang was very open-minded, and isn't it just what we wished for? That's right, if there is something wrong with these divine powers, Avalon should react. These gods should really release pure divine power. Leah said calmly. After a brief discussion, the few people found that there was really nothing to worry about. At this moment, Xiaolei and others also walked in. What a good thing. Why did the special door that blocked us suddenly disappear? Xiaolei looked around excitedly. Divine power. But I have no idea how to use it. Yuhan did not hide the fact that he really did not know how to use it, but at least I got something. Looking at the people who absorbed soul power, the gods who had been observing breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, these little guys have been recognized by the divine power. Yes. With the talents of these little guys, they have a good chance of becoming new gods. The earth god said with some emotion. Ling Yi said with some doubt, why is the divine power in Yuhan so quiet? Isn't it always quiet? Liu Yu looked at Yuhan for a few times, then looked at the others, and looked at Ling Yi in confusion. When the divine power was just absorbed, it was not very stable. The strong man named Dongtang suppressed the divine power because of a special field in his body. The youngest girl, Hanzhou Feng, calmed down because of her high affinity with the divine power. The ice power on Esdeath, the soul power of Shifengin Yoruichi, the red dragon and holy sword on Altria, and the big clock of Takesaki Kirumi. These are all relying on special suppression or comfort. Only Yuhan is very strange. The moment the divine power entered, he was very quiet, even obedient, or afraid. Ling Yi said uncertainly. Among them, Lei Yu knew why after listening to Ling Yi's words. Don't talk about divine power, even if your body entered, I can guarantee that you will be quiet. What? This sentence contains a lot of information. You must know that Ling Yi's body is a true god. Seriously, there are very few people in the entire god realm who can fight Ling Yi. This little guy's treasure of the Spirit King contains weapons that kill gods, and they are not just for show. They are weapons that have really killed gods, and there are more than one, or countless at a glance. Each one has killed a god. Can you believe it? Lei Yu said with some trembling as he thought about the situation at the time. The other gods were also somewhat unable to accept it for a while. There should not have been a large-scale death in the god realm. Not necessarily, it may be something we don't know about in the distant past. Now Yuhan is still limited by the spirit ring. When he truly becomes a god, I feel that he will be another main god. Ling Yi looked at Yuhan with deep eyes. In the ruins, Yuhan and others who were confused about the power of the gods continued to explore the room. Then they obtained the figurines of the god of wind, the greeting cards of the god of earth, and the muscle photos of the god of thunder, which were similar to the cakes of the god of ice, the gold cards of the god of fire, and the autographs of the god of water. Now only the god of souls, Ling Yi, has not had a seizure. Bang! Damn it! Lao Bing and I can't break a band together, it's ridiculous. Zhale and Bing Haoe looked at the band that was not damaged at all, and were a little speechless. Yihan looked at the room behind and said helplessly, "Let me do it. Otherwise, I don't know how long it will take." The situation here was naturally seen by other gods. The god of earth smiled faintly and said, "The next step should be to use your brain. After all, brute force can't open the band." As soon as the god of earth finished speaking, Yihan took out a red rose, raised his hand and pierced the band. The band disappeared, and Yihan and others entered. Everything seemed so smooth. What is this? The god of earth looked at the spear in Yihan's hand with a confused face. It doesn't seem to be special, and it's not a god-killing weapon, but what's going on? Liu Yu said a little confused. It should have special attack power against the ban. Ling Yi's mouth twitched slightly. He really didn't expect Yihan to have such a weapon. Now he can see that the entire ruins is no different from Yihan's home. As expected by Ling Yi, Yihan had an easy time along the way. Wherever the red rose passed, no restrictions could survive, and he pushed forward all the way. There is no jade box after the 50th room, only these murals, and I don't know what they represent. Yihan looked at the murals speechlessly. He really didn't see anything. The harvest along the way was finally getting better. It was no longer something like Thor's muscle photo. The biggest harvest was definitely divine power. Then there were some special soul skills in the back room. Although these things were not very useful to Yihan, they would definitely be sought after if taken out. Besides, not everyone has the so-called Soul Ring Liberation Device and Soul Bone Liberation Device. In addition, there was a special elixir. The effect was very simple. It improved people's talents. Of course, it could only be used for those with innate soul power below level 7. After taking it, one level of innate soul power could be upgraded. I don't know if there are any good things in the next room. If there are none, we'd better not go. Yihan walked out of the 71st room and said speechlessly, "Go. I must go." Jin Ringsu looked at Yihan eagerly. "I feel that after looking at a few different murals, my soul power will be promoted. Why don't I have such a feeling?" Yihan pierced through the restriction of the 72nd room with a puzzled look and walked in, with extremely skilled techniques. After carefully examining the mural for a while, Yihan was sure that he could not see it at all. Looking at the reactions of Esdeath and others on the side, don't ask, they can't see it either. Jin Ringsu really sat cross-legged on the ground and began to promote. Yihan had no choice but to look at Zhale. "Did you see it? These murals are indeed mysterious, but I am already level 99. Bing Haoyu spread his hands. Zhale also said helplessly, "It should be useful for soul masters below level 95. I only have a little feeling after looking at it, and that's it." After saying this, Yihan's eyes lit up. It seems that this mural is also a treasure. Yihan has made up his mind to take these murals away when all the rooms are opened. Chapter 219 Irresistible Attraction. Jin Ringsu's promotion speed was not slow, and it was over in a short while. Yihan and others began to explore the ruins again, and it was as easy as walking on flat ground. In a short while, all the rooms were finished. Yihan counted them and found that there were 140 rooms in total. There were only murals but no treasures. Finally, he finished in the last room. There was no jade box in the last room. It was arranged the same as the 4th room. The statues of 7 gods stood in it, but the poses of the statues were different this time. As Yihan and others approached, 7 jade pendants slowly appeared in front of everyone. Yihan subconsciously reached out to catch the pendant in front of him. A special energy entered Yihan's body, and then the divine power in the king's treasure began to be hidden. The same situation happened to others. A message appeared in the jade pendant. When necessary, it can resist a fatal blow. The effect is simple, but very practical. You know, this fatal blow limit is a god. The good things here should have been taken away. I even made a copy of the murals. I can go out now. Yuhan did not completely destroy the murals. Instead, according to the guidance of Bing Haowenjale, a part of it was destroyed. Without this part, the mural can only be used by Soul Emperors and Soul Masters below Soul Emperors. As for why it was not completely destroyed, it was of course to attract people from outside to come in. The entire ruins had been swept away, and Yuhan and others also came to the exit. After saying goodbye to the 7 gods, they left directly. The moment they came out, they saw a large number of troops stationed around, ready to fight. There were no scattered soul masters nearby. It can be seen from the clothes that these soldiers belonged to 3 forces. The appearance of Yuhan naturally attracted the attention of the 3 forces. What? Are you going to leave us here? Yuhan smiled very calmly. Jin Ringsu is still the appearance of Zhu King. Looking at the soldiers of the Xiandao Empire nearby, she waved her hand. Be quiet, retreat. With the order of the prince, the soldiers of the Xiandao Empire did not hesitate at all. They put away their weapons and turned around to leave. You must know that Yuhan had buried a large number of troops in the Ice City in the far north. Such a reputation can be said to be well known in the army of the Xiandao Empire, although it is a fierce reputation. City Lord Yuhan is joking. Our Xingluo Empire is not the Spirit Hall. How could we do such a thing? The person in charge of the Xingluo Empire is no longer Daimyo Bei and Zhu Xiuqing, but someone else. Who are you? I am Dai Yunfei, the great general of the Xingluo Empire. I am honored. Dai Yunfei saluted and his speech was very bold. I know your purpose. You want to enter the ruins, right? Yuhan knew this would happen as soon as he came out. After all, the only one who has the key is Yuhan. In this way, Yuhan cannot be avoided anyway, so now he has to pay the price to let Yuhan give out the key. 3 days later, bring your sincerity to Moan City. I will only wait there for 1 day. I will give the key to whoever is sincere enough. Yuhan didn't know what to ask for, but it didn't matter. These people would give it to him. Looking at Yuhan who was moving away, Dai Yunfei's expression did not change. He waved his hand and asked his men to prepare. On the other side, the people from the Spirit Hall and the Xiandao Empire directly found Jin Ringsu. Young master, what exactly is inside? Jin Daoluo asked with some expectation. Yu Guan and Gimi also looked at Jin Ringsu with some expectation. Yuhan and Jin Ringsu had already explained the contents of the ruins. Even if the good things were taken away, Yuhan would make the ruins reflect his value. Be patient. There are 7 gods in the ruins. Jin Ringsu's words made the 3 titled Daoluos breathe a little tight. Although there is no god test, there are still many things related to gods. At least I have gained something. Although they were a little disappointed that there was no god test, they still had some expectations when they saw Jin Ringsu taking out a bottle of pills from her arms. Most of the good things were taken away by Yuhan. I also got a little bit. This is one of them. What is this? Yu Guan asked carefully. This kind of elixir can increase the innate soul power of the person who takes it by 1 level, but it can only be below level 7, that is to say, it can reach level 7 at most, and it can be taken repeatedly, that is to say, even if you have no soul power, after taking 7 elixirs, you will become a being with innate soul power level 7. Jin Ringsu's words made Yu Guan and Ji Yuimei's pupils shrink, but Jin Daoluo was not interested in this kind of thing. After all, Jin had no offspring, so he could not use this kind of thing. But Ji Yuimei and Yu Guan knew that the Spirit Hall had its own academy, most of which were civilians, and generally had low innate soul power. But if there really was such an elixir, then it meant that all the soul masters who came out of the academy were at least soul saints. You know, there are really not many people with innate soul power level 7. It is already a genius to find one, and now such a genius can be piled up with medicine. Who wouldn't be tempted? Young master, I don't know, can this elixir? Ji Yuimei's hoarse voice became a little gentle. Unfortunately, she was interrupted by Jin Ringsu. No, although Bibi Dong and I are mother and daughter, our current situation is not very good. Want elixirs? You can take things to the worship hall to exchange them. Grandpa Jin, please persuade him to take responsibility for this matter. Jin Daoluo looked at Jin Ringsu kindly and smiled, then looked at Yu Guan and the others coldly. Do you understand? I understand. Yu Guan and Gimli said unwillingly. But as a member of the Spirit Hall, I can tell you something. There are murals in the ruins that can help people practice, and the effect is very significant. But unfortunately, most of them were destroyed by Yihan. But even so, Soul Emperors and those below Soul Emperors can still help. Facing Jin Ringsu's seriousness, Jin Yi smiled and said, Xiaoxu, since this mural is at most Soul Emperor, there is no need to worry. No, you don't know how terrifying that mural is. Whoever goes in first, copies it and destroys all the murals, other forces will definitely suffer. Jin Ringsu's words were still disdainful to Jin Yi Douluo, who is in a high position, but Yu Guan and Ji Yuimei understood Jin Ringsu's meaning. If the two empires took it and used it to form an army composed of Soul Emperors would be horrible. In addition, there is a divine weapon in it. Jin Ringsu released the explosive material. Of course, this explosive material was intentional by Yihan. What? Jin Yi Douluo, who had been calm all the time, stood up excitedly. Xiaozu, are you sure? Why didn't Yihan take the weapon? It seems to be the weapon of the god of fire. Yihan and his martial spirits don't match it, so they can't take it away at all. Jin Ringsu explained. The weapon left by Yihan was the spear of the little sun Kurna, which contained a lot of sun flames. This weapon was placed there without the intention of being taken away. It was just to attract people. Even if it was really taken away by special means, Yihan could get it back through the king's treasure, which was not a waste at all. Xiaojuhua, Xiaojui, notify Bibi Dong that we must take this quota. Jin Yi said seriously. Yu Guan and Ji Yuimei also understood the seriousness of it. Let's not talk about the murals. What if one of the 10 people they sent out can take out the weapon of God? Is there a chance to pass the God test? On the other side, the Xiandao Empire naturally heard the news. With a weapon of God in it, the Xiandao Empire naturally couldn't sit still. General, we are almost ready. A soldier handed the list to Dai Yunfei. Dai Yunfei looked at the gift list and tapped the table regularly. Not enough. Inform His Majesty to ask for more good things. General, don't you have too many? The Deputy General asked carefully. Dai Yunfei looked in the direction of the Heaven Dao Empire and the Spirit Hall. Two very quiet organizations have suddenly become restless recently. There must be a reason. The Heaven Dao Empire must have known something through Zhu King, so the Spirit Hall must have their source of information. There must be good things in the ruins. We can't take it lightly. Dai Yunfei is different from Dai Mubei. Although Dai Mubei has experienced a lot, he is still a young man after all, and his experience is still a little less. Compared with Dai Mubei, as a general, Dai Yunfei has long been accustomed to intrigues, not only externally, but also internally. He will keenly discover the purpose of any nearby disturbances. The abnormality of the Spirit Hall and the Heaven Dao Empire this time made Dai Yunfei very alert. In order to be on the safe side, it is always right to keep a hand preparation. Chapter 220. You may make a lot of money, but I will never lose money. 3 days later, Moan City welcomed the busiest one since its establishment. Yihan and others sat in the first place. There was a jade box on the big table. Inside were 7 keys made by Esdeath, which was also the purpose of the 3 major forces coming this time. Of course, in addition to the 3 major forces, other sects also came. After all, Yihan said that whoever showed him sincerity would be given the key. But there was no rule that only the 3 major forces were allowed. Friend Yihan, it's been a long time since we last met. When Yihan was drowsy in the first place, a gentle voice came slowly. After cheering up, Yihan saw Ning Fengzi, the leader of the 7 Treasures Glazed sect, who he hadn't seen for a long time, followed by Bone Daluo Gurong and Sword Daluo Chenzin. It's been a long time since we last met, Leader Ning. This time you shouldn't be here for fun, right? Yihan didn't plan to do those empty words, and spoke directly. Ning Fengzi saw this and said, this time, our 7 Treasures Glazed sect came here on behalf of the Xiandao Empire. Of course, we are here for the key on Yihan's body, and there are benefits in it. Yihan looked at Zhu King in surprise. The latter shook his head to indicate that he didn't know. Yihan just didn't expect that the Xiandao Empire was still very smart. After all, the 7 Treasures Glazed sect and the Xiandao Empire are on good terms, so it is acceptable to give a few of the 10 places. In addition, the 7 Treasures Glazed sect can be said to be the richest in the continent after the Spirit Hall in Anil City. Here is the list, little friend Yihan, take a look. Ning Fengzi took out a book and handed it to Yihan. Yi Han was not hypocritical. Although he said it was sincere, anyone with a discerning eye knew that Yi Han was asking for benefits. Good guy. Yi Han looked at Ning Fengzi in surprise. There were a lot of things on this list. A large number of strategic materials should have been provided by the Xiandao Empire, and the rest of the rare treasures should belong to the 7 treasures Glazed sect. It is not worth it to bet on a divine artifact that cannot be picked up if so much can be given. Then the purpose of the Xiandao Empire is obvious, which is the mural. I wonder if young friend Yi Han is satisfied. Ning Fengzi asked with a smile. Well, it seems that the Xiandao Empire and the Kibaoli sect have invested a lot of money. In this case, Yi Han sensed that someone was coming outside, and deliberately acted like he was about to make a decision. Sure enough, the people outside couldn't help it. Wait? City Lord Yi Han, is this decision too hasty? Why not take a look at the sincerity of our Wuhan Hall? The smiling voice of Jin Douluo came from outside. That's right, our Xingluo Empire has made great efforts to prepare. Even if City Lord Yi Han doesn't choose, he should take a look. After all, it's better to compare 3 shops. What do you think, City Lord Yi Han? Dai Yunfei also walked in with his people. Yes, yes. City Lord Yi Han can also take a look at ours. Some small sects or the united lower 4 sects spoke up one after another. Yi Han pretended to hesitate for a while, then nodded. Generalized words make sense. Let's take a look, but to prevent everyone from being embarrassed, I will publish the list given by the Xiandao Empire. Everyone can take a look before making a decision. This move seemed to be considerate. If someone saw that they could not beat the Xiandao Empire, they would not embarrass themselves, but in fact, they were setting a bottom price, telling Dai Yunfei and Jin Douluo that this was the lowest price. You can add more, but you can't reduce it. Otherwise, not only will they not get the key, but one thing that will be difficult to lose is the face of the major forces. What a little fox, even more difficult to deal with than those guys on the border. Dai Yunfei took a deep look at Yi Han, and he was relieved in his heart. Fortunately, there was a backup plan. With the announcement of the Xiandao Empire's list, the small organizations and sects were silent. There were too many. To be honest, the 4 lower sects united, even if they went bankrupt, there would not be as many as this list. This formed a crushing situation, and for a time everyone set their sights on the Spirit Hall and the Xingluo Empire. This is our Xingluo Empire's list. Lord Yi Han, please take a look. Dai Yunfei waved his hand and handed Yi Han a list. General Dai is really thoughtful. It seems that the Xingluo Empire is serious this time. Yi Han handed the list to Yi, who quickly listed the Xingluo Empire's list. For a moment, the people around him took a breath of cold air. Even Jin and Ning Fengzi looked at Dai Yunfei in surprise. The Xingluo Empire not only gave a lot of benefits, but also willing to cede land and give Bishu City to Yi Han. This is not a joke. You know, Bishu City is the place where the water god appeared, and it also brings a lot of economic sources to the Xingluo Empire every year. Dai Yunfei knew this, and the Emperor of Xingluo also knew it, but Dai Yunfei was also very clear that the water god treasures of Bishu City had been taken away. As for the economy, it was indeed a lot, but it would not shake the foundation of the Xingluo Empire. And Bishu City is not close to the capital of the Xingluo Empire. Take it out to make a big bet, betting why the Xiandao Empire and the Wuhan Hall are so crazy. If the bet wins, everyone in the Xingluo Empire will be happy. If the bet loses, Dai Yunfei will surrender his military power, resign from the position of general, and die to apologize. Jin Ringsu on the side was also a little surprised to see Dai Yunfei with a resolute face. You know, Wuhan Hall and Xiandao Empire know the inside information. Xingluo Empire is completely in the dark. How dare they be so crazy? Yuguan. Jin glanced at Yuguan obscurely. The latter nodded, quietly added something to the list, and walked towards Yi Han. Lord Yi Han, this is the sincerity of our Wuhan Hall. Yi Han naturally saw the little action before, but Yi Han didn't care. The more good things, the happier he was. His opening the list, Yi Han was shocked and glanced at Jin Ringsu obscurely. The latter also looked puzzled. Wuhan Hall is still rich and powerful. It seems that Wuhan Hall will take it down this time. Yi Han said meaningfully and handed the list to Yi. Everyone stared at Yi. Soon the list of the Spirit Hall was announced. There were 10,000-year soul bones and 2 10,000-year soul bones. Just these 12 soul bones alone made the eyes of the surrounding soul masters shine. From this point, We can also see that the spirit hall is very rich. Jin Ringsu on the side was also confused. This was too much? She wanted to expose Yihan. With a few useless murals and a fake Vulcan weapon, he tricked out 12 soul bones. Thinking about it, Jin Ringsu's heart was bleeding. You know, if the spirit hall is hers in the future, these are all her property. City Lord Yihan should have seen the sincerity of our spirit hall. Don't you know these keys? Jin Douluo said excitedly. Yihan didn't care about this result at all. It was originally a free-for-all. Whoever gave more and better would be given. Anyway, they could feel that they made a lot of money, but Yihan would never lose. Wait. City Lord Yihan, I think our Xingluo Empire can still compete, and City Lord Yihan also said that it will take one day today. I will go and prepare first. Dianfei turned around and left, feeling more anxious. You know, the price that allowed the spirit hall to take out 12 soul bones proves that there is something in the ruins that is equivalent to 12 soul bones, or even much more. Thinking about everyone's speculation when the ruins first appeared, Dianfei took a breath of cold air. He already had a guess. The spirit hall was so crazy that it was very likely that there was something related to God in it, and this thing was not simple. After figuring this out, Dianfei became more anxious about the ruins this time. Seeing Dianfei leave, Ningfengzi smiled and said, I think what General Dai said makes sense, so I'll take my leave now. I'll definitely give friend Yihan an answer today. Jin Douluo looked at the two parties leaving, feeling a little uneasy. Since City Lord Yihan can't make a decision immediately, then we, the Spirit Hall, will also leave. However, please give City Lord Yihan some consideration. We should be the only force that can take out 12 soul bones. After the three major forces left, the small clans didn't have much to watch, so they said goodbye and left one after another. Soon, the originally lively hall gradually became quiet. Great. You guys just cheated me of 12 soul bones without saying anything. Jin Ringsu walked to Yihan in a hurry. Yihan smiled. This is not yours, it's your mother's. Bullshit, when I get the spirit hall, it will be mine. Jin Ringsu said unhappily, why don't you give me some benefits? For example, how about you give me the spear in the ruins? You wish. Yihan said that Jin Ringsu was like Peach. When you completely unify the spirit hall, I will return these 12 soul bones to you, okay? Really? Jin Ringsu was stunned, looking at Yihan in disbelief. Don't worry, when have I ever lied to you? Yihan said solemnly. To be honest, Yihan doesn't lack soul bones at all. With the existence of Emperor gone, basically all the soul beasts he finds for sacrifice will have soul bones. As for returning it, if it really comes to that point, the Spirit Hall has become a part of Anil City, then the Spirit Hall belongs to Anil City. Isn't this returning it? Chapter 221, Vast Sea Universe Cover. Before Ningfengzi left the place where Yihan lived, he asked someone to contact Emperor Zhu Yi. This matter involved gods, and they originally thought that the things they took out were almost certain to win. After all, in their opinion, only the Xiandao Empire knew the news inside. You have to know that only the eldest Prince Zuking followed him in. God knows why the forces of the Xingluo Empire and the Wuhan Hall were like crazy. If Ningfengzi didn't know that Yihan had a bad relationship with the Wuhan Hall, he would have thought that he was deliberately raising the price. At this moment, Ningfengzi was standing in the palace under the full exertion of Jiandao Luo Chengsen. Your Majesty, forgive me for being blunt, you'd better check your surroundings. Maybe there are spies from the Wuhan Hall and the Xingluo Empire around you. Ningfengzi said very seriously. Emperor Zhu was stunned, and then he understood what Ningfengzi meant. If they didn't know what was in the ruins, why did the Xingluo Empire and the Wuhan Hall raise the price so crazily? Did Zuking tell them? It's impossible to think about it. The most likely person to have a problem is the minister in the palace of the Xiandao Empire. Thinking of this, Emperor Zhu Yi's face was not very good. I will investigate this matter thoroughly. We must get the ruins this time. Even if we can't get the weapons of God, we must first get the murals and then destroy the contents. In this case, time is running out. I hope your Majesty will make a decision early. Ningfengzi said gently. Emperor Zhu Yi thought for a while and suddenly his eyes lit up. He waved to the people around him, and soon a triangular pyramid-like thing appeared in front of everyone. This is the Vast Sea Universe cover. This is a divine weapon. I believe Yihan will like it. Emperor Zhu Yi said with a smirk. Ningfengzi did not doubt him. Time was running out, so he took the things and went back with Chen Xin. On the other side, Jinyi Douluo was also very unhappy. After all, a large amount of resources and 12 soul bones were not taken. Is there something wrong with the Xingluo Empire and the Xiandao Empire? An unknown relic costs so much, and even has to increase the price. Yu Guan said, a little unhappy. Jinyi was stunned when he heard Yu Guan's words. Yes. How could they be so crazy if they don't know what's inside? Ziozu won't betray us, so there must be something wrong with the Pope. Quick! Guime writes a letter to the Pope and asks him to investigate the spy thoroughly. Guime and Yu Guan also wanted to understand the problem, and Guime left quickly. It seems very reasonable to think like this, but it will make General Dai Yunfei of Xingluo Empire suffer. Wuhan Hall and Yondao Empire have Jinringsu to pass on information, but Xingluo Empire is in the dark. Dai Yunfei guessed that there are good things inside, but he doesn't know what it is. MD, are those people who collect intelligence in the Empire all useless? Wuhan Hall and Yondao Empire have known about it for a long time, but we still don't know it? It's so passive. Dai Yunfei angrily smashed the wine glass on the ground. General, we have been stationed at the border and don't know about this matter. The Deputy General said carefully. What does His Majesty say? Dai Yunfei asked irritably. The Deputy General quickly took out a letter, and Dai Yunfei opened the letter. There were only 2 words, give up. These 2 words simply raised Dai Yunfei's blood pressure. With the craziness of the Xiandao Empire and the Spirit Hall, they wouldn't believe that there were no good things in the ruins, so how could the Emperor of the Xingluo Empire not understand? Compared with the urgency of the 3 parties, Yihan was really very comfortable. Ah, cool. Yihan drank Jinringsu's good tea and lay comfortably on Tang San's thighs, feeling that his life was complete. Facing Yihan, who looked like he didn't care, Jinringsu asked unhappily, have you thought about who to give the key to? Children make choices, adults choose to take them all. Yihan joked. Jinringsu rolled her eyes speechlessly, don't make a fuss, I'm serious. Yihan also smiled. In fact, he really wanted to take them all, but this was impossible. There were only 10 places in total, and the 3 forces were asked to take out the good things to share. Don't be funny. I'm a businessman, regardless of whether I have a grudge against you or not. If the Spirit Hall really gives the most and the best, then I will definitely choose the Spirit Hall. Yihan knew Jinringsu's worries, and was afraid that Yihan would have a prejudice against the Spirit Hall. Thank you. To be honest, I don't think much of the Spirit Hall. Yi listened to the conversation between the 2 and threw the half-eaten apple in her mouth to Yihan. Leave it to you. Yihan said with a face full of resentment, Sister Yi, can you not be like this every time? You want to eat it, but you feel it's boring to eat half of it. Throw it to me. I want to eat the whole thing. Or are you disgusted with your sister? Yi came to Yihan in an instant and teased, how about your sister feed you? Faced with such a misleading scene, Yihan said that his heart was moved. You. Shameless, why can't the Spirit Hall succeed? There are 12 soul bones. Other materials are no less than the 2 empires. Jinringsu blushed and pulled Yi away from Yihan, and Yi smiled and looked at Jinringsu. 12 soul bones are indeed a lot, but since Ningfengzi and Dai Yunfei chose to go back first instead of giving up, it proves that they will find something more than 12 soul bones. Esdeath said indifferently. While eating, Leah also said vaguely, the Xingluo Empire doesn't know what is inside, and may not dare to gamble, but the Xiandao Empire knows. That's right, even if it's not for the artifact, the Xiandao Empire will not hesitate to give it up for the mural that can make people become soul emperors. Tang San smiled charmingly. Yihan had no doubts about this. Esdeath and Yi, a general and a criminal army boss, and Leah was originally the king of a country. As a king of a country, she may not understand people's hearts, but she is not ignoring the government. Listening to the words and actions of several people, Jinringsu was really a little shaken. Is there really something more important than the 12 soul bones? No, I want. Yihan grabbed Jinringsu, who was about to run away. What are you going to do? Let Jinyi ask Bibi Dong for good things? Don't be ridiculous. The Spirit Hall is 108,000 miles away from here. This is already the best thing the Spirit Hall can currently offer. Why do you think Jinyi has been emphasizing the sincerity of the Spirit Hall, and only when he can't produce anything will he play the emotional card? Jinringsu sighed. It seems that the Spirit Hall is really not meant to be. Haha. You should be happy, you have the murals inside, and as for the artifact, that is my treasure. To put it bluntly, it's just an empty shell. Yi Han looked weird. Did Jin Ringsu really think that the spirit hall could take away his treasure? Jin Ringsu said helplessly, "This is still all your fault. Why blame me?" Yi Han was stunned and looked at Jin Ringsu with a puzzled look. "Haven't you done enough to target the spirit hall over the years?" Coupled with the previous key incident, the reputation of the spirit hall can be said to have dropped to the freezing point. This time you once again announced to the world that the highest bidder wins. In addition to competing for your own financial resources, you also have to save face. Jin Ringsu said unhappily. Yi Han really didn't expect this level, but what does it have to do with him? It wasn't him who asked the people of the spirit hall to publicize that they could open the ruins. This is the problem with BB Dong's decision. If they had tested the authenticity of the key, or asked Jin Ringsu, this embarrassing thing would not have happened. Chapter 222 Want to harm me? In the northernmost city of Moan, in a familiar hotel, it was already night. Yi Han had waited for a long time and finally someone came. "Friend Yi Han, it's dark now. I don't think the people from the Heaven Dao Empire and the Star Luo Empire will come again. Our spirit hall is also very sincere. What do you think?" Jin Yi looked at Yi Han very proudly. In response, Yi Han just shrugged his shoulders. "It's hard to say. Maybe someone will come soon." "Humph. 12 soul bones, who else can take them out except our spirit hall?" There was a hint of disdain in the ghostly hoarse voice. "The Heaven Dao Empire and the Star Luo Empire are just a joke." At this moment, Ning Fengzi walked in slowly with two titled Douluo. "That may not be the case. The Heaven Dao Empire must get the key to the ruins this time." Ning Fengzi. Jin Yi narrowed his eyes slightly, and a bad premonition came to his mind. Dai Yunfei also walked in a little while later, but unfortunately, he was not as high-spirited as Ning Fengzi. He had been fighting for it all afternoon, but unfortunately the Emperor of the Star Luo Empire would not agree to increase the price. "Lord Yi Han, I'm really sorry. Our Xingluo Empire is still the same as in the morning, but if Lord Yi Han can choose our Xingluo Empire, he will definitely be treated as a guest of honor by the Xingluo Empire, and I will also give Lord Yi Han some personal gifts." Even if the Emperor of the Xingluo Empire is mentally retarded, Dai Yunfei still wants to fight for it. Before Yi Han could speak, Yu Guan on the side said sarcastically, "Yo, you're getting something for nothing. Our Wuhan Hall can do it too. Just a guest of honor. You." Dai Yunfei looked ugly, but after all, he was a general guarding the border, and his key cultivation skills were still very impressive. He clasped his fists towards Yi Han and said, "I'm sorry. General Dai, there's no need to be like this. The transaction is based on mutual consent. Even if the transaction fails, there is still righteousness." Yi Han looked at the haggard Dai Yunfei and said very politely, "Then Sect Master Ning will not be the same as General Dai. I remember that your daughter's Shrek team and Lord Yi Han's Dimension team had a good relationship back then." Yu Guan said in a strange tone. Yi Han also called him an expert. He didn't expect that after several years, Yu Guan was still the most powerful one in Yin and Yang. He deserved the title of Great Yin and Yang Master. Ning Fengzi was now full of confidence. He was not afraid of Yu Guan's words. "Of course not. We are well prepared. And maybe Yi Han likes my things." Except for Jin Yi, Gu Mei and Yu Guan, Ning Fengzi's words were all dismissive. In their opinion, no one on the Douluo Continent could resist the temptation of soul bones. Ning Fengzi calmly took out a blue transparent small pyramid. The blue light kept flashing on it, which made people look extraordinary at a glance. The vast universe cover. Yi Han's pupils shrank. He really didn't expect the Xiandao Empire to take out this thing, but he soon understood the interests involved. This is a divine artifact, called the vast universe cover. His Majesty also spent a lot of effort to obtain this back then. This is also the sincerity of the Xiandao Empire. Ning Fengzi said very gently. Jin Yi and others on the side looked at the vast universe cover in disbelief. A divine weapon? How ridiculous. What kind of divine weapon is this? The Xiandao Empire is really good at bragging. Yu Guan quickly reacted after his initial surprise. If it was really a divine weapon, would the Xiandao Empire give it to Yi Han? Would it not keep it for itself? While the two were talking, Yi Han observed Ning Fengzi and found that the latter really didn't know what it was, so he calmly knocked on the handle of the chair. Bang! A jade box was thrown out by Yi Han, and Gurong reached out to catch it. Everyone stopped arguing and looked at Yi Han. "Give me the vast universe cover." Ning Fengzi instantly understood what Yi Han meant. handed the vast universe cover to Yihan, then opened the jade box and looked at the 7 keys inside, feeling happy. City Lord Yihan. Jin Yi frowned when he saw this, and wanted to say something, but was stopped by Yihan. Master Ning, I hope that what I say next will be conveyed to the Emperor of the Xiandao Empire, Emperor Zhu Yi, word for word. Yihan said with a very playful smile. Ning Fengzi, who was originally happy, had a bad premonition for a while, but still nodded, of course. The vast universe cover first appeared in a barbarian tribe. Before obtaining this treasure, the entire tribe was not very powerful, but it was also thriving. But since obtaining this treasure, not long after the entire tribe suffered a catastrophic disaster, the vast universe cover was passed through the hands of several forces, but all the forces that handled it did not survive, and finally fell into the hands of the royal family of the Xiandao Empire. After confirming that no one could control the vast universe cover, they were afraid of being cursed, so they completely sealed it up and ordered their descendants not to touch the vast universe cover. I guess Sect Master Ning has never heard of this story. Yihan's words hit Ning Fengzi's heart like a hammer. He really didn't expect that the vast universe cover had such a secret. The Xiandao Empire is really good at it. Dai Yunfei laughed. Ning Fengzi asked with some confusion, then, young friend Yihan, this. Yihan knew what Ning Fengzi wanted to say. Why do you need to change it? That's right, if you regret it, I can return all the keys to you. Ning Fengzi said very seriously. Yihan waved his hand, with a deep look in his eyes. At first glance, the vast universe cover seems like an evil thing. Back then, this treasure was also called the most evil thing by people, but sometimes people are so superficial. An incredible thought flashed through Jin Yi's mind, who had been silent all this time. Could it be that this vast universe cover is really related to God? Yihan looked at Jin Yi Douluo with appreciation. Next, you must bring it to Emperor Zhu Yi. The reason why the major forces suffered a catastrophic disaster is because there is the remnant of the sea god in them. If you want to get the recognition of the sea god, you have to bear the remnant of the sea god. Isn't it ironic? One of the most important treasures of the sea god is now in my hands. Even though Ning Fengzi had expected it, he was still a little surprised. Jin Ringsu on the side was also surprised. She had been in the Xiandao Empire for so long, and he didn't even know about a divine weapon placed in front of her. Jin Yi looked at the vast universe cover with burning eyes. It would be a lie to say that he was not moved, but now that the thing was in Yihan's hands, he basically had no chance of getting it. Ning Fengzi also felt a little emotional. Emperor Zhu Yi, since you just gave away the artifact for a mere curse. Really? Sai, you have got your things, so go back. By the way, don't forget to take me to thank Zhu Yi. Yihan waved his hand and ordered them to leave, and several people said goodbye. The matter of the vast universe cover is not a small matter. Ning Fengzi did not dare to delay, and asked Chen Xin to take him to the Xiandao Empire Palace in the middle of the night. What? Emperor Zhu Yi's face was gloomy, and his hands were shaking. Since he gave away the artifact. Are you sure that Yihan said this? Emperor Zhu Yi still couldn't believe it. What if he was just talking nonsense? This possibility is very low. Although he didn't want to hit Emperor Zhu Yi, Ning Fengzi still decided to let him face the reality. From the fact that Yihan chose to exchange a cursed object he knew without hesitation, it is basically true. The good news is that we have obtained the privilege of entering the ruins. Yes. That's right. If we can get the artifact in the ruins, then we will not lose. It's better to exchange an artifact that can't be controlled for an artifact that can be used. Emperor Zhu Yi said excitedly. Ning Fengzi couldn't hit Emperor Zhu Yi at this time. It was not that he didn't think highly of Emperor Zhu Yi, but the artifact that even Yihan couldn't take away, how could the Xiandao Empire? In desperation, Ning Fengzi could only say goodbye and no longer watch Emperor Zhu Yi's imagination here. The next morning, with the help of the Spirit Hall and the Xingluo Empire, everyone knew what a stupid thing the Xiandao Empire had done. A real artifact didn't know how to cherish it. Chapter 223 Happy Secondary School Time. The key was given out, and everyone's goal was attracted by the Xiandao Empire. Yihan and others naturally returned to Anil City and stopped asking about this matter. In fact, there was nothing to ask. After all the good things in the ruins had been taken away, and there was nothing left. But it was really unexpected for Yihan to get the vast universe cover for free. Zio-san, it's really not that I want to steal your artifact. It's really that the Xiandao Empire gave it to me directly, and it's not good to refuse it. Yihan thought with some emotion. Yihan was really not interested in Tang San's future opportunities. Although the Slaughter City had the Killing God domain, it was undeniable that there was a test for the Shura God inside, and the same was true for the Sea God Island. Yihan, who had to rely on himself to become a god, really avoided the test. But when the real vast universe cover was in front of him, it would be a lie to say that he was not greedy. The vast universe cover can be said to be an existence that established Tang San's godhood, and some of its accompanying skills can also be said to be very buggy. The first skill is the vast sea body shield. When used, it can generate a hidden shield that wraps all people and objects within a certain range. It can also isolate sounds, breath, etc. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is a magical skill in the wild. The second skill, Kyankanding Shade, has a relatively simple effect. It is a controlling skill, but it can only be used on people whose mental power is less than 3 times of oneself. Otherwise, it cannot be fixed. The third skill is called Vast Sea Raging Waves. This skill is the most troublesome for Yihan. It is a large-scale group skill. It is very powerful to mobilize the ocean. But this skill invisibly affects the remnant of the sea god in the vast Kyankan Shade. The fourth skill, Kyankan Pomo, is a single attack, and the effect is also very significant. These skills can be said to be of great help on Tang San's way to the Sea God Island. Ziohan. Are you still studying this strange triangle? Yi's figure flashed in front of Yihan. Yihan said with a headache, it's not research, I'm thinking about how to solve the remnant of the sea god. Yihan, who is familiar with the original work, knows how to activate the vast Kyankan Shade, but can't solve the remnant of the sea god. Don't think about it for now, let's eat. Yi really doesn't understand the remnant of the sea god, and won't comment much. The two of them soon arrived at the Dimension Academy. The other people in the hall were all there. This was a rare time to relax, and everyone was very happy to have dinner together. Brother Han, you are finally here. Sister Leah is starving. Benjo Feng smiled and pointed at the girl who was crawling on the table, looking at the food with shining eyes. Puff, okay, let's eat. Yihan said with a smile. Leah quickly picked up her bowl of rice after hearing this. Her movements were elegant, but her speed was not slow. Fortunately, the people here knew Leah, otherwise they would definitely think that Yihan abused Leah and didn't give her food on weekdays. How is your research on that cover going? It has been studied for half a year. Esdeath asked elegantly while eating. Yihan took a bite of the food helplessly. I know the entire vast universe cover, but the remnant of the sea god is not easy to solve. What's not easy to solve? Don't you have that trick? Leah said vaguely while eating. Yihan had a question mark on his head. Which move? Please tell me clearly. Don't tell me half of it. I don't remember what it's called, but it was very cool to say it at the time. With this pair of eyes, even if it's a god, I'll show you how stupid it is. Leah imitated and said. For a moment, everyone remembered the pair of eyes of Yihan when they dealt with Ling Yi. Just looking at them would make people feel cold all over. Leah, your tone is wrong, it should be more cadenced. Tang San said with a smile, even if it's a god, I'll kill it for you to see. How cool is it? It's exactly the same. Dongtang was the first to give affirmation. Yihan, who was still thinking about the possibility of this matter, couldn't accept it for a moment after hearing Tang San's tone. Was I really so chunibiao at that time? No. Brother Han was very handsome at that time. Han Zhou fully demonstrated the nature of a chunibiao girl, posing in a shameful way. Even if it's a god, I will kill you. Cool. Stop talking. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. That's just the effect of activating the martial spirit, not my own will. Yihan felt a breath of chunibiao, and immediately said with shame on his face. People of Uruk. Give me everything you have. Facing the shameful Yihan, Yoruichi stood up very domineeringly, opened his hands, laughed, and did it in one go. Leah on the side also found that this group was doing something funny, quickly swallowed the food, stood up, and very domineeringly took out the sword of oath of victory and stuck it into the ground. He said majestically, this is my city, this is the proof of my return, it is the power gathered from all the people of Uruk living in the age of gods, it is a power that even the gods cannot match. So cool. The way Sister Leah said this is completely different from when Ziahun said it. Benjo Feng's eyes were shining with golden light. Yihan, on the other hand, was lying on the chair with a look of social death, saying, "Stop talking, I'm going to die." Unfortunately, several people were so happy in their excitement that Esdeath stood up unwilling to be outdone, and condensed ice armor on her body, admit defeat. You are not fighting with this king, you are fighting with the entire Earth, fighting with a civilization. If you still refuse to admit defeat, this king will grant you the most gorgeous exit. I thought Yihan and Tang San were so handsome when they said this. Yihan was a little tearful. I was very handsome at that time, but now that you say it, I feel ashamed to death. Ha ha ha. Don't say it, it's really handsome. Tang San smiled charmingly, and didn't know when he came to Yihan, who looked like he had lost all hope in life. What's wrong with Ziohan? I'm already socially dead, don't talk to me. Yihan said with a decadent face. Not that bad, not that bad. I still like what you said, that the king will bear, the king will allow, and the king will bear the world. It's a pity that the king of this country of Uruk is a tyrant. Leah said with some regret. To be honest, she couldn't understand why it was said that the king should bear, the king should allow, and the king should bear the world. The king who said this was an out-and-out tyrant. By the way, Ziohan, does your king's treasure have all kinds of treasures? Yi suddenly asked expectantly. Yihan thought about the previous topic and looked at Yi alertly for a moment. What do you want to do? Just say whether you have it or not. Yihan said uncertainly under Yi's eyes, I should have everything. Then try with Leah's treasure. I want to see how handsome Leah was at the time. After all, he was also the king of Britain. Yi's words made everyone around brighten up. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Yihan said righteously. Vote to decide. I, Shifengin Yi, will vote with my real name. Yi raised his hand and said. Han Zhofeng on the side left and raised his hand. Me. Count me in. Allah. Ziohan obviously doesn't want to do this kind of thing. Why are you forcing him? After hearing what Tang San said, Yihan was moved. It turned out that Tang San was the most considerate person. So I voted for it. Click. Yihan looked at Tang San in disbelief. Bastard. Give me back my moved feelings. Agree. Although Esdeath's tone was very cold, her expression was very expectant. Although it's a bit strange, I also want to see what I looked like at that time, so, Ziohan, I'm sorry. I'll treat you to a meal later to make it up to you. Leah said carefully. Yihan had given up. Everyone looked at Dong Tang on the side. The latter said belatedly, of course I choose to stand on my best friend. I'll introduce Sasha to you. Of course I stand on Yi's side. I'm also looking forward to my best friend's performance. Dong Tang changed the subject and said righteously. Yihan looked at Dong Tang speechlessly. The latter smiled awkwardly. Best friend, you know, Sasha has a big butt and is very tall. It completely fits the template of Katakata. I know you understand me. I understand you. Yihan couldn't be furious in his heart, but looking at the eyes of several people, he said helplessly, it is impossible to demonstrate, but if there is a battle later, I can use Leia's treasure first. That's right, Yihan compromised. He was not a coward. He just examined the current situation and made reasonable arrangements. It can only be said that he did it from the heart. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 224 The Curtain Rises. Time passed quickly. During this period, Yihan has been practicing intensively. As for the vast universe cover, Yihan is going to try it with the Eye of Death and Soul Douluo. But there is no special situation at present. The upgrade becomes very slow at level 73. After all, the previous upgrade was so fast thanks to the thunder tribulation of Emperor Yan and the thunder and lightning in the Thunder Canyon. Now it is a process of accumulation and subsequent upgrade, which is naturally incomparable. Ziohan. According to the frontline, a person who fits your description appeared in Shrek Academy. Yi appeared in a flash and took out a photo and placed it in front of Yihan. Looking at the elegant young man in the photo, Yihan smiled. Tang San is back, so everything is about to start. Is this Tang San? Yi looked at the blue-haired and handsome Tang San in the photo, and was a little unbelievable for a while. What did he do? Plastic surgery? No, this is simply a head change. It can be regarded as the second awakening of the blue silver grass. Yihan understood Yi's surprise. After all, although Tang San was not ugly at the time, he was really mediocre. Recently, pay close attention to the situation in the spirit hall. Tang San is back. If nothing changes, the spirit hall will definitely make a big move. Yihan looked in the direction of the 7 treasures glazed sect, his eyes looking very deep. I wonder if you have forgotten what I said back then. A few months ago, the people of the Heavenly Dao Empire came out of the ruins and announced to the public that they had obtained the artifacts and murals inside. For a time, everyone was envious of the Heavenly Dao Empire, but only Yihan knew that Karna's weapons had not been taken away at all. The Heavenly Dao Empire was completely talking nonsense, just trying to fool the Star Luo Empire and the Spirit Hall and not let them in. After all, everything inside had been taken away, and the 2 major forces would not ask Yihan to buy the key at a high price. In this regard, Yihan believed that the Star Luo Empire, which had no intelligence, might believe it, but the Spirit Hall would definitely not believe that there was a big spy Jinriksu inside. But the Spirit Hall, which knew this, behaved very quietly like the Star Luo Empire, as if it really believed in the Heavenly Dao Empire. Yihan didn't believe that Jinriksu didn't tell the Spirit Hall, so there was only one possibility. The Spirit Hall would make a big move recently, combined with Tang San's recent return. It must be the destruction of the 7 treasures glazed tile sect. After thinking it all out, Yihan quickly came to the Dimension Academy. Zuxi. Did you miss me? Zuxi, who was practicing, heard the familiar voice, ran over quickly in 1 step or 2, and threw herself into Yihan's arms. Brother Yihan, you haven't seen me for a long time. Zuxi has become beautiful now, no longer the dirty look she used to be. In addition to Yihan's deliberate guidance, whether in terms of etiquette or strength, she has become a qualified emperor. Of course, Yihan didn't force Zuxi. It was Zuxi's own will. Since Zuxi herself is willing to become the emperor of the Xiandao Empire, Yihan will naturally help her with all her strength. My brothers and sisters may go on a long journey recently, you should practice well here, okay? Yihan gently rubbed Zuxi's little head. Zuxi pouted in anger. Huh? Brother Yihan, you said last time that you would take me out to play. Now you are secretly taking the sisters out alone. Haha. Yihan smiled. After this period of time is over, I will take Zuxi over and help you become the emperor of the Xiandao Empire. Really? Zuxi asked expectantly. Of course. After the instructions were given here, Yihan said in the group that he would go to Xiandao Imperial City in the afternoon. Everyone was still very excited about going out, and soon packed up their things and officially went to Xiandao Imperial City. What is our purpose this time? Esdeath asked calmly. Yihan smiled lightly and said, go meet the current Shrek 7 devils and be a good person for once. You want to save the 7 treasures glazed tile sect. Yi looked at Yihan with surprise. Excuse me, it's better not to do this. Of course not. Whether the 7 treasures glazed tile sect can escape this disaster is their fate. And I'm just going to be a good person. Yihan said with a sly smile. Can you please stop beating around the bush when talking? Uncle's brain capacity is not enough. Zhao Lei listened with great interest at first, but he couldn't understand it anymore. Did I just fall asleep and miss something? We saved the 7 treasures glazed sect and they are still the 7 treasures glazed sect. They will only thank us. This can only be called icing on the cake. But the 7 treasures glazed sect has been destroyed and is no longer one of the top 3 sects. At this time, if we go to help them, it will be like sending charcoal in the snow. And we are just sending people to help the 7 treasures glazed sect to protect the disciples who are on missions outside to return. At that time, the 7 treasures glazed sect will still be grateful to us. Yihan said very clearly, but the fact is that some people will not know that they are wrong unless they are hurt. Sure enough, you are full of bad water. Zhao Lei realized. The group's speed was not very fast, it was considered a constant speed, and soon arrived at the gate of Shrek Academy. Please notify Yihan to meet the Shrek 7 devils. Yihan said to the guard very politely. Yihan's face is still very famous in the area. The guard naturally recognized Yihan, bowed respectfully, and quickly went to the academy. After a while, the Shrek 5 monsters, led by Tang San, came out. At this moment, Xiao Wu was still in the starred out Great Forest, and Oscar should still be in the far north to obtain the most critical spirit ring. Greetings to His Majesty Yu Xiao and His Majesty Qi Bing. Master, Flanders and Liu Erlong also came out with him. They still had to follow the etiquette of the title Douluo. Master, Dean Liu, Dean Flanders, I haven't seen you for a long time. Yihan greeted with a faint smile. You are too polite, City Lord Yihan. Please come in. Tea has been made inside. Today is different from the past. Anil City has a very important position in the entire continent, so the three of them naturally dare not neglect it. After sitting down in Shrek Academy, Flanders did not beat around the bush and smiled. I don't know, City Lord Yihan, what are you doing here this time? Yihan smiled. He had already thought of the purpose of coming here. This time I came here for the promise I made that year. Promise. The master looked at Yihan in confusion. Flanders and Liu Erlong looked at each other and saw the confusion in each other's eyes. Yes, some of them have been realized by themselves, but some have not. Yihan smiled and pointed at Ma Hongjin, the evil fire of the mutant martial soul. Yihan's words suddenly awakened Ma Hongjin's memory. At that time, Ning Fengzi poached people from the Dimension Academy in front of Yihan, but was countered by Yihan. One of the conditions proposed was to solve the defects of the martial soul. Unexpectedly, after a full 5 years, Yihan came to Ma Hongjin again and mentioned the problem of the martial soul defect. Are you serious? As Flanders' teacher, he knew Ma Hongjin's talent best and how much Ma Hongjin had paid for the evil fire. He looked at Yihan with some excitement. Yihan nodded and glanced at the Shrek 5 monsters in front of him. Ma Hongjin's spirit defect, Ning Rongrong's spirit evolution, Tang San's mother's resurrection, the conditions are still the same as before, but after 5 years of settling, I just asked again. Yihan's words made Tang San a little out of control. The blue-silver domain and the killing god domain on his body burst out unconsciously. Daimyo Bei, who was closest to him, felt a sense of suffocation for a while. The spirit on his body even unconsciously opened to resist the cold air, but the next moment a more powerful murderous aura instantly shattered the killing god domain and also made Tang San sober. Esdeath looked at Tang San indifferently. The murderous aura on his body was like substance. Control yourself. Sorry. Tang San said apologetically. Tang San now is different from 5 years ago. He understood what Yihan meant 5 years ago, so he was even more excited. As Esdeath let go of his momentum, Ma Hongjin and the others gasped heavily. If Tang San's killing god domain was a change brought about by fighting, then Esdeath was a murderous aura piled up with human heads. He did not have any interest in any domain, but simply killed many people. In the previous world, he was an existence that killed countless people. When he arrived at Douluo Continent, he directly massacred the evil city. Chapter 225, The Destruction of the 7 Treasure Glazed Sect. The reception room of Shrek Academy was a little silent. Flanders was a little anxious. City Lord Yihan, this, Hongjin's martial soul defect, if it can really be solved, as long as I can do it, I will definitely agree. Flanders' words made Ma Hongjin even more entangled. You know, once he agreed, it means that the Shrek 7 Devils may be officially announced to disband. Others are fine, but Daimyo Bei and Zhu Zhuking are the future heirs of the royal family. Xingluo Empire and Anil City are 2 different forces after all. Yihan was not in a hurry, and said very considerately, Ma Hongjin, you can discuss it with Dean Flanders. After all, he is your master, and Xian isn't. You can also ask the master. Thank you. Ma Hongjin saluted Yihan very seriously. In this case, we will take our leave first. Anyone who wants to come to the mercenary union can find us. Yihan said gently, and left with everyone. Seeing Yihan and others leave, Flanders could not sit still. What are you little monsters hesitating about? Hongjin's martial soul is defective. Xian can revive your mother, and as for Rongrong, since Yihan can evolve your father's 7 treasures glazed tower into 8 treasures glazed tower, yours is naturally a piece of cake. What are you hesitating about? Flanders said with some regret. Teacher. Ma Hongjin seemed to be hesitant to speak. Daimyo Bei on the side. Yihan's condition back then was that if you accepted his favor, you had to join the Dimension Academy. No, it should be Anil City now. Flanders' momentum was lost, his eyes were a little dazed, but Daimyo Bei paused and spoke slowly. Zio-san, Fatty, wrong, go. Although I don't want to admit it, Anil City is second to none in terms of strength and current potion refining technology. Going there will only benefit you and no harm. Zhu Zhuking also sighed. Wrong, you have to solve your martial spirit, don't you? You can't really give up when you reach level 79. Listening to his former companions persuading them, Mo Hongjin and others felt even more uncomfortable. Tang San took a deep breath. Boss Dai, Zhu King, I will consider it. Let me take a break first. Tang San decided to go back to the canyon where he practiced. He wanted to ask his father. With Tang San speaking up, Ning Rongrong and Ma Hongjin also chose to slow down. This slowdown lasted for a month. Ma Hongjin was entangled with his teacher and the other members of the Shrek Seven Devils. Ning Rongrong saw further. As the future heir of the Seven Treasures Glazed sect, she naturally knew that if she joined Anil City, it would mean that the Seven Treasures Glazed sect would have no choice in the future. If Yuhan knew that Ning Rongrong was entangled with this, he would definitely laugh out loud. After all, the Seven Treasures Glazed sect would soon fall from the top 3 sects. Ziohan. The people from the Spirit Hall have been dispatched. Ghost Douluo and Chrysanthemum Douluo took several title Douluos from the Worship Hall, who were won over by Bibi Dong to the Seven Treasures Glazed sect. Yi said solemnly. Yihan was refreshed when he heard this. In that case, send someone to take care of the Seven Treasures Glazed sect disciples outside. The rest is, wait. Late at night, in the Seven Treasures Glazed sect, Ning Fengzi still did not sleep, frowning and looking into the distance. Fengzi, it's so late, and you're still standing here, be careful not to catch a cold. Gurong's concerned voice slowly rang out. Ning Fengzi smiled gently upon hearing this. Uncle Gu, I don't know why I always feel uneasy today, and I don't know what went wrong. Gurong shook his head helplessly and said, you just haven't had a good rest recently, so you're thinking about it. I hope so. Just as Ning Fengzi was thinking, a ray of light suddenly flashed across the sky, and a large number of soul masters suddenly poured into the Seven Treasures Glazed sect. The sudden change made Ning Fengzi frown. Enemy attack. With a huge voice, the war between the Spirit Hall and the Seven Treasures Glazed sect was completely launched. This was an unfair war. The Spirit Hall took advantage of the dark night and came with elite soldiers, while the Seven Treasures Glazed sect was only more heavily guarded in the past few years. As time went by, Ning Fengzi basically forgot what Yuhan had said. Now seeing the army approaching, Ning Fengzi couldn't help but mutter to himself, the destruction of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect. This battle was basically no suspense. If it weren't for the Tang sect's hidden weapons provided by Tang San, which gave the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect a little relief, the battlefield would definitely be carried out in a crushing manner. Even so, facing a large number of unequal battles, the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect was also retreating step by step. Bastard, take Fengzi and the remaining people of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect and run. I'll cover you. Chen Xin appeared in front of Ning Fengzi and Gurong, still speaking coldly. Gurong and Ning Fengzi's pupils shrank. Uncle Jian, your arm. Although Chen Xin's tone was very calm at this moment, the dust on his body, the disappearance of his right arm, and the messy soul power all showed the ruthlessness of the Spirit Hall's attack this time. Don't talk nonsense. Go. Chen Xin's 9 soul rings shone, and a huge 7 killing sword fell from the sky, stopping the Spirit Hall people who rushed over. Let's go. Gurong made a prompt decision, grabbed Ning Fengzi and disappeared. Gurong could not afford any hesitation at this moment. Even Chen Xin, who possessed the 7 killing sword, had already done so. If he did not leave, the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect would really be destroyed. As long as he took some of the people of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect and ran away, the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect would still have hope, but would only lose the title of the top 3 sects. Relying on his strange martial spirit, Gurong took some people and quickly left the range of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect. With each flash, until the last time, Gurong carried a seriously injured and unconscious Chen Xin on his back. Uncle Jian. Jian Douluo. The people of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect quickly surrounded them. Ning Fengzi's face, which had always been gentle, was now somewhat ferocious. Looking at the blazing fire in the clan land of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect, he growled with the gritted teeth, Spirit Hall. Wait for me. Fengzi. Gurong pressed Ning Fengzi's shoulder with a tired look. He had spent a lot of effort to bring Chen Xin out. You are the clan leader of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect, calm down. Ning Fengzi took a deep breath, keep moving forward. This place is only temporarily safe. Our target is Shrek Academy in the Heavendao Imperial City. As long as we enter the Heavendao Imperial City, the Spirit Hall will give up the pursuit. The group left in a dusty state without stopping. Yu Guan and Gui Mei on the other side leaned against the stone pillar. What's going on? Your Majesty, Ghost Douluo, the bodies have been basically cleaned up, but most of the core figures of the 7 treasures glazed tile sect are not here. The Templar in front of him said respectfully. Gui Mei frowned. Got it, you go down. Let them move the good things from the 7 treasures glazed tile sect, and then burn this place down. Yes. What a pity. Chenzin is already like that, since he was rescued by that old guy Gurong. Yu Guan said with some resentment. Gui Mei also felt a little pity. Not killing Chenzin this time meant that there was an enemy of the 96th level, titled Douluo. Gurong's martial spirit is too weird, but Chenzin's right arm was broken, and his strength must have been greatly reduced. Yu Guan can be said to have made an indispensable contribution to the victory over Chenzin this time. You must know that the 7 Killing Sword is the most powerful weapon martial spirit on the known continent, and coupled with Chenzin's strength, it can be said to be very terrifying. If Yu Guan had not just absorbed the strange chrysanthemum and successfully entered the 97th level titled Douluo, this time would definitely be a fierce battle. Go back and report first. Although Ning Fengzi and the others are not dead, our goal has been achieved. When Bibi Dong came this time, she did not tell him to kill Ning Fengzi or Chenzin and Gurong. Instead, it consumed the vitality of the 7 treasures glazed tile sect and slaughtered its people, causing the 7 treasures glazed tile sect to no longer be one of the top 3 sects. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.